welcome to tonight's game of Old School Dungeons and Dragons. My name is Ekin, and I'm gonna be your dungeon master tonight. Um, Hope you guys had a good week. Let's see. To get started, we'll be preparing you guys for the adventure. We have some new players. We'll get them some characters rolled up, and then after that, everyone else will get your characters ready as well. Okay, so our newest players. Do you guys have a first name you want to go by, or a last name you want to go by? This is just for your player name. So what we'll refer to you as outside of the game. My name is Iken, but during the game you'll call me the referee or the dungeon master.
Alright. So, can you repeat that last part about our names? I didn't quite catch that.
Yeah,
It's
so what would you
interrupted.
like to be called outside of the game? What's your like real name? Yeah, or
Oh,
first name
you
or
can
last
call
name.
me, uh, you can call me Pick or Peter, whatever you prefer.
Alright, cool.
And my other friend that just left right now is about to rejoin. You can call him Pat.
Okay. Well, welcome Peter, and then when Pat gets here,
Yeah, Pat.
he will also be welcome.
He said
Okay.
his headphone died, so has to join on phone.
Alright. So we'll get your character rolled up, and then Silver looks like you need a new character too.
Yep,
Mhm. Okay.
Cleo died last game.
Unfortunate. Um. All right. Let's see. Go ahead and grab yourself a pencil and paper so you can take some notes, and then everyone else just sit tight. Go ahead and grab what you need before I come to you. Be ready when it's your turn. If you're not ready, we'll just skip you, but and then come back to you. But yeah, try to be ready so we can save some time. Okay. You have plenty of time to figure your stuff out. We're gonna start with Peter, and then we'll go to Silver, and then Pat when he gets here. But we're gonna get your characters rolled up. So, real quick, Peter, have you ever played old school Dungeons and Dragons before?
Not old school. I have played fifth edition, but that's basically my whole experience with D&D.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, Pat's here.
So, old school D&D is a bit different from newer versions, more modern versions of the game. Um, but same kind of concept. We're gonna be telling a story of classic fantasy adventure, rolling dice and role playing and such. And you're gonna join a campaign for fame and fortune, pretty much. So I'll be your dungeon master, your guide into this world of Dungeons and Dragons, and you'll be a player. You'll take on the role of an individual character campaigning for fame and fortune. You'll do this by hunting down monsters, treasures, and bounties, pretty much, with a party. So you'll um, band up with other adventurers. This is a respectable class and occupation that you'll take on, a role in this world of D&D, and together you guys will fight against a common foe, monsters and such. You'll go mostly exploring, of course, dungeons guarded by dragons for fame and fortune. Okay, so um, before you can do this, of course, I'm going to get you guys your characters rolled up, and then I'll tell you how to play real quick. To play D&D is very simple. The game is pretty much storytelling, but with dice. There's three steps to playing the game pretty much. The Dungeon Master will be describing to you what you're experiencing. You'll get to describe what you want to try to do in the perspective of your character, so that's called role playing. And then we determine the results with the roll of the dice typically. Um, Dice are rolled, and the Dungeon Master will describe what happens from there. Then you might roll dice too, and from there you can make your next decision. But it's a game of the imagination. It's a game of decision making and stuff like that. So it'll test your imagination for sure. Okay, so and then welcome, Pat. You're kind of missed out on the intro, but it's not that different. I was telling Peter, I was gonna tell you as well that we're playing old school D&D. It's not too much different from the concept. Is not too much different from how it is nowadays. I think it's still a role playing game. It's more about actual Dungeons and Dragons back then, though. All right. So we'll get you guys your
Sounds
characters
good.
rolled up in a second. And you're okay with Pat being your name? Not your character name, just your player name.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
All right. Okay, we're gonna start with rolling Peter. Get my dice real. There's three methods you can use to roll dice here. You can either use our dice bot, or I'll roll the dice for you. In the original D&D, typically the dungeon master actually roll the dice for everyone. So
Yeah, you can roll them. I don't have any issues with that.
okay, and of course, if you have your own dice, you are allowed to roll with your own dice if you guys have a camera. That way, it's fair for everyone. But
All right.
dungeon masters, they're not required to show their own dice on camera, but especially for certain roles, I'm the kind that does. So you guys get to see
Yeah.
how it ends, uh, you know, before I even describe it. So, alright, so first we're going to test your ability scores. Starting with Peter, we're going to roll for your character's strength. Okay, that's 12 strength. Let's go ahead and note that down if you want. I'll be noting this down as well.
Yep. Can I note it down on my notepad
Anything you
on the
want.
PC?
Yeah.
All right.
Alright, next is your intelligence. You have 8 intelligence. A score of 3 to 8 is considered below average. A score of 12 through or 9 through 12 is considered average, and 13 through 18 is considered above average. Alright, next is your wisdom. Oh. Alright, looks like you have 11 wisdom. Something smells like it's smoking. One second. I'm gonna check outside my barrack room because I smell smoke. So I'll be right back.
All right.
That don't sound good.
Let's hope it's good.
You know, I
Hopefully a
don't think it.
barbecue and not a war.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean he's in Japan. Maybe he's getting bombed. Ooh.
Oh no, not World War II again.
Actually, World War III is about to start.
I
I mean,
wouldn't
yeah.
be surprised.
Let's hope not.
Oh,
I'm not sure what it was, but I think someone was cooking and it was just getting smoky. Okay.
Weird.
Alright, so we are rolling his ability scores. We're going to roll his dexterity next. Okay, so he has 7 dexterity. Next is his constitution. 15 constitution. Then his charisma. 9 charisma. Alright, and next is gonna be silver.
Hello.
Hi, we're rolling your ability scores next. Alright, strength. You have 7 strength.
Not a
Intelligence.
fighter.
10 intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom. 8 wisdom. Dexterity. 9 dexterity. Constitution. 6 constitution. Charisma.
Oof.
10 charisma.
Ow.
Alright,
That hurts.
you'll be fine. Pat's next. Alright, Pat, your
Yeah.
strength is 11. Your intelligence is 13. Your wisdom is 11. Your dexterity, oh, it's 13. Your constitution is 14. And your charisma is 11. Okay, so those are your ability scores. Still reflect some of your character's talents and flaws and such, but they're not too important. The main thing that they'll help you with um, is selecting your class, your skills or your responsibility, your role to the party. So there are 7 classes in original D&D or D&D BX that you have to choose from, 4 of which are of the race of men, 3 of which are demi-humans. The first 4 classes are clerics, fighters, magic users, and thieves. The next 3 classes are dwarves, elves, and halflings. So I'll describe what each class kind of does, and then you're going to pick your class. So first is cleric. Clerics, these pretty much are like vampire hunters, priestesses, um, crusaders, right? Templars, Knight Templar. Their main role is to use their faith to fight against the undead, and they can fight in any armor and any weapon. So like they're like holy warriors. And then we have fighters. Fighters are the best at fighting the game. They'll be responsible for fighting off monsters, and they have fighting skill. So these are like your mercenaries, your knights. Their fighting skill allows them to fight way better than anyone else in the game. They can make 2 attacks. In our game, it's our house. They can make 2 attacks, level 1s, 5, and 10. Since we don't go up past expert. And then we have magic users. Anyone who uses magic is a magic user. Um, and they can cast 1 spell at level 1. They can, in our game, they can use any armor and any weapon. Everyone fights in our game. So their role, of course, mainly is to use their wits and their magical powers to help the party, of course. Early on, this is a difficult class to play, but in the late game, it's a very powerful class. Um, then there's a thief. The thief has all the skills that adventurers might need to explore a dungeon, right? So they are kind of the scouts. They can backstab, pick locks, disable and remove traps, detect traps and stuff. They can climb to your surfaces, um, hear noises. They have a lot of skills. I'll go over in detail if you choose this class. And then the 3 demi-human classes you can choose from. There are the dwarves, who are very good at fighting and exploration, especially in mountain halls and dungeons and such, because that's where they're from. They're very great craftsmen as well. They will craft at half the cost in our game. And then they can use any armor and any weapon, of course. Elves, same thing. They can use any armor, any weapons. They are basically fighters, but they also use magic. And then there are halflings. Halflings are like the rangers. They're basically like really good at fighting and exploring the wilderness, and especially using bow and arrows. Um, so those are your options for your classes. Based on your scores, though, I will make some recommendations. Starting with Peter, your highest score is Strength and Constitution. I recommend Fighter or Dwarf to you. Another good idea for you would be Cleric. Which of those 7 classes would you like to pick?
I have a question. I'm gonna be asking a lot of these, basically comparing fifth edition to this edition. Is dwarf similar to barbarian? It was my question.
I don't know a lot about the 5th edition, but if you mean
No,
like, can they fight?
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
they fight.
the answer is no, they're not similar to Barbarian. They are fighters,
Okay.
but no.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna go with fighter.
Okay. And then, let's see. Silver, your character scores. I recommend Magic User or Thief to you.
Magic user.
Okay. And Pat, your character is smart and quick and tough. I recommend Magic User, Thief, or maybe Dwarf to you, or even Halfling.
I think thief.
Okay. The average man in old school D&D only had 2 hit points. They rolled a d4 for their hit points. Thieves and magic users will do the same. The dwarf or the fighter in the group will get a d8. So for our fighter, you'll get this 8-sided die for your hit points. The average man only has 2 HP, keep that in mind. The average fighter has about 4 at level 1. Yours has 5. With a +1 bonus from your high constitution, you'll be starting with 6 of 6 hit points. 3 times as
All
much as
right.
the average man. For the magic user, you have low constitution, get a -1 penalty. We'll roll a d4 -1. Alright, you got 1 -1, minimum is 1 hit point. And for the thief, you have a +1 bonus because your thief is tough. 2 + 1 is 3 hit points. Alright, next is your starting money. This will help you equip your character with the armor, weapons, and supplies that they might need for the adventure. For the fighter, you'll be starting with 8 pieces of silver. For the magic user, you'll be starting with 8 pieces of silver. And for the thief, you'll be starting with 12 pieces of silver. Alright, first we'll buy you all a set of clothes. You must be protected from your environment. Disease is one of the main ways, or one of the more common ways to die in this game. This clothing will come with a set of 10 articles or 10 pounds worth of clothes. This typically consists of your undergarments, your tunic, your trousers, your belt, your boots, which count as 2 items, your gloves, your hood and cloak, or hat and robe, or whatever you choose. So, of course, it's 10 normal clothing articles. Nothing fancy, nothing poor or wretched, just normal. Next is, you're gonna get a class item. Some of you require class items to do your job. At the very minimum, fighters don't have to worry about this. They just have to focus on armor and weapons, and every character requires armor and weapons. But magic users, you'll need an empty spell book to fill with your knowledge of spells. And the thief will need his thief tools, his lockpicks or a skeleton key, costing 2 silver pieces. Alright, so with that purchased, the magic user is down by 3, the thief is also down by 3, the fighter is down by none, by just 1. We're gonna start with the fighter, getting you all your armor and weapons and such. So, for weapons, I first would recommend a missile weapon. I recommend missile weapons for everyone, especially starting out. Um, There are four weapons that I recommend early on. There's the sling, short bow, longbow, or crossbow. Um, from cheapest to most expensive, we have the sling for 1, the short bow with arrows for 3, crossbow with quarrels for 4, and longbow with arrows for 5. So, Peter, which missile weapon would you like to start with? You can also choose none, but I highly recommend you choose
Um,
one.
which one was the second one? Sorry.
That would be the short bow for 3 silvers.
And do I get to know how much damage it deals?
It deals 1d6 damage. It has pretty decent missile range.
Yeah, all right. I'll get the short bow.
Alright, good choice. You get 10 arrows to start with. Alright, so we see your character was at 8, subtracting 4, you're at 6. Next, I would recommend a melee weapon. For your melee weapon, I highly recommend a spear. Very versatile weapon, can be braced with, can be thrown, can reach with it. Would you like a spear or a different kind of melee weapon? It's any of your choice, I'll tell you the price. Any medieval melee
Uh,
weapon you can imagine.
okay. Well, so there's sword, long sword, hand
Axes,
axe and such.
maces, clubs,
Yeah, yeah.
daggers.
Um, for a mace, how much would that deal?
A mace is 1d6 blunt damage. More effective against armor and, of course, like undead, skeletons and such.
Hmm. And the spear? How, uh,
The spear deals 1d6 damage as well.
it deals piercing damage, if I'm correct, right?
Uh, there's only 2 types of damage in old school D&D. There's
Oh,
blunt
okay.
and there's bladed or edged weapons.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry.
So it's an edged
Um,
weapon.
right. Well, I guess I'm gonna take the spear since it's more versatile.
Okay,
How much is the spear again? Sorry.
3 silvers.
All right, thank you.
Alright, you're down to 1 silver. With this last silver piece, I would recommend getting yourself a sack so you can carry loot. If you
Yeah,
find
yeah,
any. Okay. In old school D&D, loot equals treasure. For every silver piece you trade for XP, you get 1 XP. So 1 silver equals 1 XP. That's how you're going to progress in this game. So you definitely need something to carry loot with if you want
yeah. All
to
right.
win anything. Um, Peter, you're next. You have 5 silver remaining. I recommend, since you don't have as much coin to spend, you start with a sling for your missile weapon. It's still a very effective missile weapon. Is that fine with you? Or would you like to go with a short bow, longbow, or crossbow?
Um, a crossbow.
Okay. The crossbow is very effective. It deals 1d10 damage every other round, though. So, it's the most accurate, but it costs only 4 silver, so you have 5 to spend, which will leave you with 1. Would you like to purchase a mailed weapon? Or would you like to
Uh,
purchase a sack for loot? Or
I
something
guess a
else?
sack.
Alright, good to go. Actually, you had a little more coin than the others. You have actually 4 more coins.
Oh,
Sorry, my mistake. This means you can purchase a mail weapon if you'd like, or some
can
more
I
equipment supplies, or
can I
armor.
buy like a short sword?
A short sword is 5 silvers. A dagger is 2 though.
Oh yeah, sure, a dagger.
Okay. Alright, you're down to 2 silvers. How would you like to spend this? Would you like a bag or a sack for loot and supplies?
Yeah, a sack.
Sack. Okay. You have 1 more silver. How would you like to spend it?
Um, Can I like buy a?
Or actually, we
No.
we already purchased you a sack. That's right. So you have
Oh
two
yeah.
left. Oh, sorry. What did you say you wanted?
Can I buy like a rope
Yes. Good choice. That's 1 silver. You have one more left.
and can I buy a lockpick for 1 silver?
Lockpicks will cost 2.
Okay, so
You
instead of the
already
rope, I'll buy
have
a
one because you're a
lockpick.
thief. We purchased that right when
Oh,
you
okay.
started. Yep. So you're good to go.
Okay, what else can I buy for 1 silver?
I recommend a 10-foot pole. You can use this to detect traps with. Prod the floor ahead of you.
Oh yeah, sure, I'll take that.
Okay. All right. Silver, you're next. You have 5 silver remaining.
Longbow and arrows.
You can't purchase anything else if you do that. That's okay with you?
I know. Yeah.
All right. Okay. And there's only one more thing left for all of your characters, except for the magic user. You get some spells, but you need to figure out the name of your character. So go ahead and choose a name. It must be medieval, or if it's gonna be made up or fantasy, then at least make it sound medieval. Um, let's see. We also need to get the spells for the magic users. So for spells, you're going to either pick one of your choice, roll 2d12s, or take the preset ones, which are read and detect magic. Very good for long-term players. Without them, you can't really progress as a magic user.
2d12.
2d12? Okay. So 2 random spells. Alright, 3 and 10. So you see 10. There's 3 on that side. Okay, so the spells 3 and 10, just so you know. Random chart. You got yourself floating disc, one of my favorites, and shield.
Ooh.
Alright, so with floating disc you can carry up to 500 pounds supernaturally on a disc-like shape that's invisible, and then shield is you can cast basically magical armor over yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
between those two spells, which would you like to memorize?
Uh, shield.
Okay.
Question. What is my AC? 9 minus my dexterity.
Your dexterity is 9, so you
Oh,
have
so
9
I
armor
have 9.
class.
Okay.
Alright, so Peter, have you figured out the name for your character?
Yes, it's going to be Erwin,
Okay.
but you can pronounce it Edwin or however you like.
Sure. Alright. Welcome to the party, Irvin the Veteran. That's the title of a first world fighter. Your character's not fresh off the farm. He's got a bit of a training, but no experience in adventuring. He's probably back from his first military campaign, and he's a veteran now. So now he's gonna continue doing what he knows best. In that case, that's fighting, of course, but as an adventurer.
Perfect.
You're about to join a campaign taking place, or starting from the village of Gevelon, like everyone else. This is a campaign against a dungeon ruin known as Casarunes of Volta, beneath which a dungeon was discovered about a year and a half ago. And adventurers have continued campaigning across or throughout its various dungeon levels. Let's see, so that's the most, or that's what you've heard. That's what you're probably getting yourself into, unless otherwise decided. Um, for silver, it looks like you've already chosen a name as well. It looks like you picked Ollie. So
Yes.
be Ollie the Medium. You're also not fresh off the farm. Your character is a scholar and one who had been speaking with spirits for some time, and now you're going to set off as an adventurer. Adventuring spiritist, right? Your powers allow you to use the spell shield. Okay, that could be useful. against monsters or whatever else you might face in the dungeon. Pat, you're next. Um, what name did you choose?
Um, I think like Ruben.
Ruben. Okay. So, is that Rubin?
Well, let me think. Reuben.
Okay. Good to go. All right. You are Ruben the Apprentice. Before this, you're a tradesman of sorts, and now you're practicing your trade. You're using all the skills you've gained for adventures now. Tradesmen have various skills, merchants and such, that they need to utilize to survive the trade industry in a world of Dungeons and Dragons. You need to be able to, deal with traps. Sometimes you'll need to climb your surfaces. Many different skills, questionable skills, but they're all very useful for merchants to have. Or tradesmen. Let's see. Hunters. Alright, so we have the new players readied. So now we're going to get all the other ones readied. Hopefully you guys know what you need to do. You shouldn't have to do too much. If there's a lot that you need to do, you should speak with me outside of the game. But we are starting a game, so it should be something quick. You should be ready to play by the time you join. If you are a returning player, that is. Let's see. So we have, I'm going to put down Peter as Erwin, F1, and then Silver as Ollie, M1, and Pat as Ruben, T1. Okay. Next is gonna be Rain as Augustus, the warrior, second level fighter. The most seasoned member of the crew is Augustus. So let's see, let's get him ready for the adventure. Augustus, do you need to purchase anything before we set out? You have 13.3 silvers based on my current notes. Actually, you have a little less than that. You have based on these notes, you're actually at 11.3. You lost 2 silver your last adventure.
Yep.
Okay.
No,
Good to go?
have nothing to purchase.
Readied up. Alright, epic. Okay. And then next is Squig as Beldrick, the veteran, first level fighter. Alright,
I don't think I have enough money to buy anything.
cool. Then you're ready to go. And
Uh,
then
there's nothing I need either.
Valo as Fortunato.
Uh, has anybody else bought food or no?
Nope.
Not yet.
Nope.
I'll buy a silver piece worth of food for the whole party.
I tip my hat to you.
Okay, and how are we planning on carrying all this food? We're gonna divvy it up between sacks, or does someone have a pack to carry it with, or a bag? A sack can only carry 20 pounds, and one set of food is 30 pounds. So you could divide it equally between 2 sacks, or put it in one bag, for example.
With the rest of the money that I have left, I'm gonna buy some food as well. So that's 1.5 silvers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. The 1.5. I'll just do 1.
Okay,
That's just too much.
Okay.
that's fine.
We can just divide the food evenly. I've got a sack. I can put some food in it.
Okay, well, if Fortunato's gonna spend 1, he's at 3 silvers. And Baldrick's gonna spend 1. Okay, so you're at 0.5. So you get a total of 60 pounds of food. And that means you need 3 sacks if you're going to carry all or all 60 pounds of food. They have to be empty, of course. So if we look at the character Fortunato, he has 1 sack and his rope isn't there. So would he like to wear his rope on the outside? That's fine too. It's just going to be exposed. So would you like to just wear your rope around your person, or do you want to carry it in your sack?
I'll wear it like around my belt. I'll try to see if I can like tie it around my belt.
Okay, that's fine. And then you have 20 pounds of food in the sack then, out of the 60. Your character becomes medium at the very minimum. Let's see. Who else would you like to carry food? Valdrick, you said you would carry food?
I bought food.
You bought it, but would you carry it?
Yeah, I'll carry the food that I bought in my pack. Or bag, sorry.
You have no bag or pack on you.
I don't have a bag?
Nope. You might have dropped it or
Oh.
something. I don't see it on your sheet. So that means you don't have
Uh,
it.
can you check again for me? Because I have it on my sheet. I don't...
You
Hmm.
sure it's the right character? Don't get
Yeah, Baldric
confused
the
when I...
Veteran.
Yep, Baldrick the Veteran. No bag. You must have dropped it.
Huh. What do I have on my sheet again?
It says you have clothes, shortbow, 16 arrows, a shield, Morningstar, and a gamson.
Huh, okay. I don't have anything to carry the food then. I don't have a bag or a sack or anything.
Okay. Well, then there's 40 pounds of food that needs to be picked up. Any volunteers? It can be anyone
I don't have
that has a bag.
how to carry it, but I would if I could.
We'll throw the rest on my horse.
Sorry.
Okay, you put in the
Um,
horse, saddlebags. That's fine.
how much is it left of the food?
Oh,
40
we already
pounds.
packed it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Augustus put in his saddlebags. Okay. The only thing I would recommend purchasing next is your party minimum will need 3 things for an adventure. At least 1 weapon, at least some food, and torches. Without that, you can't have an effective delve. So, does anyone have torches?
I may have some.
If we don't have torches, you can also try to hire a torchbearer who will bear torches for your party, but they would take a share of your treasure, right? So, Augustus,
Sure. So when you give torches to a torchbearer, do they give the rest back, or are they gone forever?
they might keep them, so you can borrow it to them, you can give it to them. But it looks like your character does not have any torches on him.
Uh,
hmm You do have a tinderbox. Who would like to purchase torches?
I'll buy torches. I'll buy 1 bag of them.
A bag worth of torches. That is a total of 3 silver. Do you want to keep this thing in person? Or do you want to pass it off to someone?
3 silver for torches?
You said a bag of torches, right? Or just a... Do you want to just purchase the torches? Or a bag as
Just
well?
the torches. We
Okay.
can distribute it out.
But
to
there's
everybody's
no way to carry
inventory.
it then, right? So...
Well, I should have an extra bag.
You do have a pack
Should
on
have
you.
two.
Do you want to use that?
Oh. Okay, so I don't have my bag anymore.
It
Alright.
doesn't look like you do.
Sure,
You
a
do have
bag
an
of
extra
torches.
sack though, but that won't be enough to carry all the torches.
Yeah, that's alright. I'll buy a bag of torches then.
Okay. A bag carries 40 pounds, 10 torches is 30 pounds. Who would you like to pass this bag to? I recommend someone's not
I'm gonna
carrying as
keep it
much.
on my horse. I'm not gonna pass it to anybody.
Right, but we're gonna be moving at normal footmen anyway, or I mean medium footmen. So you might as well pass it off to someone who's not carrying much, so they'll carry it into the dungeon, right? If that makes sense. Unless you don't plan to bring torches into the dungeon. So I recommend passing it off to Ollie, who doesn't carry much.
Yep.
Sure.
I'm not encumbered at all.
Otherwise, we're just doing more paperwork, right? Because if I write on your sheet, then when we get there, I have to erase it and put it on his sheet. So might as well just give it to him now.
No, yeah, but I bought in torches like the
I'll
last
I'll
year,
return the
year or
rest.
two,
I'll
and
return
they
the rest afterwards.
disappear. So
So what's it gonna be? Are you gonna give torches to Ollie, or are you gonna keep it on your person?
I'll give them to them.
Okay.
If I survive, I'll give them back to you. If I don't, you can take them from my corpse. Ow.
Okay, and Ollie, you have no way to light these torches. So you'll have to borrow a tinderbox from someone or light a fire to prepare any of these torches.
Ow. Um.
Alright. So, your party is now prepared. Preparation is done. Believe we did everyone's prep. Should be 6 of you. Okay. So, because we're done prepping now, you guys will take a small break. Take 5-minute break. Come back in 5. Ready to play. I'll see you guys in 5.
Sounds good.
Coffee time. I got some coffee, y'all.
Blip.
What type of coffee?
Just some Keurig.
That's pretty good.
French toast roast.
Ooh, fancy.
Mm-hmm. Pinky's out. This, Ekin, do you know where I lost my bag?
No, I don't.
It might have been when we got attacked by skeletons and I had to drop weight.
Yeah, probably.
Oh well, no biggie. I guess I'm lighter now, so.
Yeah. Hopefully, you did not confuse your character with your past character. Your past character had similar equipment, including packs and bags, but your new character, Meldrick, never had a bag.
My sheet says I have a tire, short bow, 12 arrows, shield, morning
16
star, and
arrows.
games.
Unless you lost some arrows.
No, was tracking arrows, and that's I
Okay,
believe I lost that in the adventure before.
just let me know. Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot to tell you at the end, I believe.
yeah. Okay, thank you. And then Shield, Morningstar, and Gambeson is what I'm drinking.
Mm.
This is the one
Damn,
that
I'm
used to
still
have a
so
javelin
fucking
and a great helm.
yeah. I'm still so fucking sad that I lost my great helm.
Was that or your life? So
True,
you
true.
decided to engage in combat with a bunch of undead.
I
That's
didn't
your,
engage in combat. I turned tail and fucking bolted.
Well, we searched for undead and we found them, and then we ran away and almost didn't make it out.
Yeah, 'cause I didn't understand the difference between wilderness and dungeon encounters, which I now understand.
All right, that's good. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes, so we're going to resume. So hopefully everyone is back. I'm just gonna do a quick roll call and also get our new players' perms and fix their nicknames. And Pat is joining us as Ruben, the apprentice. So how we do things here is with your player name, you have in parentheses your character's name with their class. So in this case, it'll be Ruben, T1, parentheses, end of parentheses. And for Peter, the same thing. We'll change your nickname.
Yep.
It's going to be Peter, space, Irwin, or space parentheses, Irwin, end of parentheses, as an F1, of course. Let's see. Everyone else looks good. Okay. But that's how we do your names here. During the game, you guys will be role playing from this point forward. If you choose not to role play, uh, your whatever you say will be translated into the game world, but it will be at a penalty. So you will just sound like an idiot, um, talking gibberish and such. So we'll be role playing the entire time unless we're on break or anything like that, or in emergencies, of course. But do your best to uh, tell a story through role playing and rolling dice. This is Dungeons and Dragons. We roleplay here. I'll be the dungeon master. You can refer to me as the DM or the ref or dungeon master or referee. Um, and then I'll refer to you guys as your characters. Okay, so real quick, I heard Ruben's here. Erwin, are you with us? Right. I think I heard Erwin a moment ago. Nagusis, are you here?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Ollie?
Here.
Alright. And heard
Bro, I
Belgic.
was muted. Sorry.
All good. Fortunato?
I'm here.
Alright. Perfect. So, we shall begin. For those who have not played before, I'll give you a proper introduction to where you're starting and how this game goes. But understand that your journey has begun not in a safe place. You're in the world of Dungeons and Dragons, and you're in a place where adventures can be had. But you should understand that the kingdom or the realm of mankind is narrow and constricted. It's always there are always forces of evil and chaos that press upon the borderlands or the frontier of human territory, and therefore adventurers, bold men and women like yourselves, set out for adventures on these borderlands or the edges of human territory. In this case, you'll be starting off in the village of Gavelon, seeking adventure to the south. And the kind of adventure most parties will seek is that take place in the underground complexes known as dungeons. They are somewhat a way into hell. The deeper you go, the more dangerous but the more rewarding it becomes. Dungeons were perhaps constructed by mankind at some point as a base of operations to take the battle to the enemy, take the battle to hell, right? Fight monsters where they're coming from. But the idea is, in a world of Dungeons and Dragons, there's demons and witchcraft and such, and we live among monsters, actual monsters that wish to destroy mankind. So as adventurers, you can become rich and famous from killing monsters. It is a normal thing. There's no moral conflict against murdering monsters or anything like that. People want them dead because monsters destroy mankind. They are horrible. They are actual monsters in Dungeons and Dragons. So any monster you kill, you can be rewarded for. You can be looked upon as a hero. But this is a game where you're gonna tell the story of your character through role playing, through their perspective, and through rolling the dice. It's not a story that we write or anything. It's a story that we play as a game. And as we play the game, the story is told. So that is your beginnings. You'll be starting from a frontier settlement on the southern borderland or southern territories of a kingdom called Bretonia. This is your realm. You are a member of the society, and you are one of the more respectable members of the society. You are an adventurer, a very respectable class among humans, and you are considered to be a hunter of monsters, treasures, and bounties. So from here, you of course will join up with other adventurers on a campaign. So in this case, you're gonna campaign from the village of Gavelon, and you're joining a crew that is recognized as adventurers of Gavelon, right? They're not a particular guild or anything like that. They're all of their own houses, of course, and are welcoming to anyone who decides to adventure with them. But all of them are not of any particular house, or they have no particular loyalties to anyone. They're just a bunch of, I guess, freemen, right? They will adventure for mankind and themselves, right? And whatever repute that they take on, whether that be law, neutrality, or chaos. But among your ranks, there's again the most or the senior member of the party is that's gonna help you the most, perhaps, or help you learn the game. It's gonna be Augustus the warrior, and then other survivors of the crew of past adventures include Beldrick the veteran and Fortunato the acolyte, and of course the newest members, one of a particularly decent or respectable house is of Ollie of House Silver, only the medium, And the newest houses and the newest adventurers would be Erwin the veteran and Ruben the apprentice. So if you guys have any questions throughout the game or concerns, since you're new, of course, feel welcome to ask. You're still learning here, we understand. So do your best to kind of just play the game and learn it for what it is. The best way to learn old school D&D is just to experience it, play it. So it's a different style compared to newer versions that you might be more used to. Um, but it's still Dungeons. It is Dungeons and Dragons. So, all right. Hopefully that's a good enough introduction to what you're getting yourself into. If you have any questions or concerns, do let me know. Okay, so for the rest of us, for everyone now, at this point, the story starts off, of course, uh, in another week in the village of Gevelon. This is currently late April of year 11. So it's springtime, a good time for adventures to be had. Weather should be good, if not a bit rainy, but that won't stop us. Let's see. So it's again late April of year 11, a party of 6, which is a pretty decent sized crew. And tonight is the night before your adventure would take place. This is day 0, and you find your party seated around a table at the Beheaded Swan Tavern. This is where you'll discuss and finalize your plan for this adventure. So, as you discuss, I want to hear your ideas, whether you want to continue the campaign against Casaruan Zavolta, or do you want to try something else? Maybe roam the land and search for your own adventure, or look around town for other adventures to be had. But it's your choice in the end. You guys get to decide as a party. So, would anyone else like to start us off with an idea? Anyone have a different suggestion? Otherwise, we're gonna continue the campaign against Casaruan Zavolta. And if we're gonna continue the campaign against the ruins, then of course you guys can discuss it, maybe your plan when you get there.
My vote's for going back to the ruins, guys.
Yeah, maybe we can check out the tunnel to the 3rd level,
Right.
though I have never been there. My family has some record of it.
I keep hearing you guys run into undead as well. I need to
That's
check it out.
correct. We have run into a lot of undead.
Maybe it's because we sent people to die and then they just turn into undead there.
Possibly.
I will also
No,
have you note that
something's
there's been
going
a new
on there.
rumor. Oh,
It's
sorry, go ahead. Augustus, were you speaking?
no.
Hello?
Go ahead, Deacon.
Sorry, go ahead. Mine wasn't
That's all right.
relevant.
You said there was a new rumor.
Yes, if you guys don't want to go back to the ruins, there has been rumor of a new dungeon location if you're interested. There's still the ongoing rumor about the
Ooh.
Dragon's Lair to the southeast, which is a little further than Zavolta, or the old Dragon Lair. It's no longer, people don't think it's active anymore. Um, it's just an old cave. But if you're interested, you can plan for it over the next year or next few months. If you're ready for expert level, there's an expert level campaign that is now available to your party. So this will take place 30 miles or about 10 leagues to the east into far, wilderness territory where you'll have to probably establish a foothold out there so you can survive out in the wilderness for many weeks perhaps instead of having to go back to town to resupply every every adventure. So if you want, you could set out for a long-term expedition or campaign or adventure. I mean, it's gonna take place to the east, and it's a place that many have heard of in the past. One of the more dangerous locations that adventurers talk about, but um, No one from this village has ever gone there. There's a way to get there now, a easy route there that people have discovered. From here to the east, there's the old castle, or yeah, the old castle ruin of I think it's uh, Castle ruin Dyson. And Dyson, House Dyson, is one of the most famed houses of the realm. Um, Long ago, it was a very legendary house, and the castle had fallen to ruin many years ago, about a decade ago. There have been past expeditions from other villages and such, but none have been very successful. So people have been talking about whether the adventurers in Gevelan might be, capable of perhaps maybe they might succeed at exploring the dungeon uh, below Castle Dyson. So Castle Dyson again is a famed location that few have spoke of, or actually many have spoke of it, but few have ever gone there from this village. Or I think certain houses here have had family members that have gone on a campaign against that ruin, but haven't gone very deep. They've maybe explored the basic levels, but they haven't gone into the expert levels of the castle ruin. But it is indeed far from any human settlement, so therefore it's considered expert level, and it can go past the basic level dungeon. So that's 4 and up, right? If you're interested on taking on a more major challenge. So something to think about over the next few weeks. I've made that dungeon location available to you guys if you want to discuss it. But otherwise, you can continue trying to clear out the basic level dungeon nearby, which is of course Castle Ruins of Volta to the south.
I don't think we're ready for an expert dungeon. I say we just go for the Zavolta.
Hmm.
Yeah, considering the fact that we have only one level 2.
Yeah. We would get murdered.
All right, so just something to think about over the next few weeks. It is an available option to check out once you guys get higher up. So something to save up for, money, or something to invest in, or have a goal. You guys can start thinking about purchasing wagons and horses and crew members and such, tents, everything you'll need for an expert level campaign. But for now, let's focus on the basic level, nearby dungeon location to the south. The plan is, you guys sound like you want to go there to explore maybe deeper so far, scout ahead, or try to find level 3 of the dungeon. People have discovered level 2. Haven't fully explored it, we think, but we have definitely explored a majority of level 1, if not all of it. Um, in that case, any objections to going to Casterun's Volta? Anyone have a different idea? Remember, this is your adventure, so deciding what adventure you choose can heavily impact the outcome of this, or where the adventure will take place and what will happen, of course.
Mm.
Okay, so I want to hear from everyone just in case. I heard from Ollie, I have heard from Fortunato and Valdric and Augustus. Our newest members have been pretty quiet. That's okay, you're new. But what do you think? Erwin and Ruben, do you guys have any other ideas or any questions or concerns about the castle ruins?
I mean, I don't really understand that much what is going on, but I am alright with it because I'm going along with the party.
Okay,
If you're
let's go.
concerned for your safety, we can still take mercenary work.
They just don't know
Mercenary
what's
work
going
probably
on
isn't good.
exactly. I think that's his question. So, Erwin, pretty much these more senior members, they're discussing a past adventure location. Basically, near your village, near Gevelon, there's a castle ruin to the south. It's the ruin that this village has been campaigning against over the past year and a half now, or 2 years actually. But basically, 2 years ago, monsters had began invading the countryside, stealing cattle, attacking any travelers, and it made the southern border unsafe. Adventurers, of course, heeded it and listened, or took action, of course, heeded the call to adventure, and they took the battle to the dungeon, or to where the monsters were coming from, which was, of course, the dungeon. They ventured off into the ruins, explored it, went down to dungeon level 1, cleared the monsters there, and now they're cutting up the last of them in level 2. And this party's thinking about going deeper, trying to get past level 2 and maybe go into level 3, the last level of the dungeon. Clear it out for good. So, but they have actually already secured the human territories, at least the borders are south. The borderlands have been secured for the most part. Um, Wilderness beyond the southern border is still unsafe, but becoming safer as time goes by. Um, and that's pretty much what's going on. So there's just these castle ruins to the south of here where monsters are coming from, and that's where they're coming out of. So we're going there to kill them, so they don't take the battle to us, right? We're taking the battle to them. So brave adventurers, uh, monster hunters are going out to go kill the monsters. That's pretty much what you're doing if you choose to go along with this. So Ruben and
Yeah,
Erwin, is
sure.
that good with
Sounds
you?
good.
All right. It's the main kind of adventure taking place from Gavilan at the moment. All right. Well, since it's been decided, do you have anything else you guys wish to prepare before we set out in the morning?
Yeah, we should vote for a color. I personally elect Augustine. Augustus.
Augustus. All
Uh,
right. So a caller, for those who are not familiar, since we have two new players, is considered a representative of your crew. They speak for your party. They cannot tell you what to do exactly, but they will speak for the party, and uh, they can use the term "we," as in we do this. And of course, if you don't say anything, they can pretty much kind of speak for you, right? Now, this could also lead you to your death, though, right? So whatever they say, you're doing unless you speak up. So if he says, we go north into a pitfall trap and kill ourselves, then you will do it too unless you speak up, right? So that's what a caller does. But typically, they'll listen to the party first, they'll discuss, and then when all is agreed upon, they will speak for your party, right? So typically, they're just the spokesperson so that the game runs more smoothly. They're a person that everyone trusts to make the right decision, right? So like when it comes to like decisions that usually this is a person that everyone can kind of trust. Someone, if you don't know anyone here, the senior member is someone you can trust because they've been here for a while. Um, but someone that you can trust to make the basic actions or decide the basic decisions of your character. So they can so you all can stick together as a party, of course. But when it comes to more complex decisions, more difficult decisions, that's when you definitely want to take action for yourself. Um, but this is why sometimes a party will appoint a caller, just so that we can all be on board and move a lot faster. Um, so, any questions or concerns about having a caller? And if not, we're gonna vote on one because that sounds like what people want to do. Unless, does anyone have an objection to having a caller? Some parties like to go without a caller and like to just like discuss everything and decide everything together instead of having someone speak up for them. So, one person so far suggests that Augustus take on caller. And Augustus, what would you think? Do you want to be caller, or what do you think about being caller for this party?
Uh, I generally don't like to, but if you guys want me to, I can.
Okay. Well, Ollie wants you to. Does anyone else wish to have a caller, or does anyone object to Augustus being your caller? And of course, at any point you can take your own action. Just have to speak up, of course.
I'm good with anyone, because
Yeah, me too.
I think everyone here is skilled, so yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Okay. Okay. So, Baldric and Fortunato. What
I
are
vote
your?
for Gooses as default. He's the most
Yeah.
experienced
All right. Good to go.
fighter
I
here.
I second that.
All right. Gustis, you have been appointed caller. So as caller now, I'll be mostly referring to you, and at times I'll refer to everyone individually still as well. But Augustus, your party looks to you for guidance and for you to lead them, right? So,
Wait, give me a
um,
second. I gotta start pulling up the maps and doing marching order and stuff then.
all right, good to go. So you're currently still at the tavern tonight, looking over plans, discussing leadership, going over maps. You guys can share your own maps if you like. But if there's nothing else you wish to do at the tavern, I suggest that your party might get some rest and pass day 0, get into day 1, so we can begin the march to the dungeon. So, does anyone else need to say anything or do anything before we get some rest somewhere?
No.
Okay. So, generally the party will and set out from the tavern, unless you want to stay at an inn, which will cost money, of course. But a night out on the village outskirts in the open countryside, you can build a fire and camp out under the stars for free. Okay, so otherwise, it costs money to stay in an inn. It'll be nice and cozy, but definitely an extra expense that we cannot afford at the moment. So if anyone objects, unless anyone objects, that's what we're doing. Your party's leaving the tavern, making their way into the countryside, into nice, cool springtime air. It's kind of chilly out here, but you got a fire going in the countryside beyond the farmlands. And you rest up. You have dinner together using a pot to make soup if you'd like. Soup is, you can definitely get tired of it, but it saves food. As long as you've got a water source nearby, a fire, and food, you can make soup, and that will save you some of your food. You'll lose less food. With 6 of you here, and 33% of the food being saved, we'll say that only 4 pounds of food is spent then tonight, leaving you with. And by the morning, after breakfast, you'll lose a total of 8 pounds of food, which will bring you down to 52 pounds. Okay, so you're down to 52 pounds.
When you have a spear, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
No.
Alright, so after a night of rest and some dinner, in the morning, your characters have breakfast together and then pack their gear and break camp. And from here, we can set out, unless otherwise decided. So, if we are to set out for the wilderness and for perhaps the ruins, what is your course of travel? You may discuss before you decide if you'd like. But your party must decide on a course of travel for day 1.
We're going to cross over to the other side of the river and head south along the river.
Alright, so you're on the west side, you cross over to the east side and begin your journey south. The river flows south-southeast, slightly east, mostly south, and you begin your travel on the river as medium footmen. As long as you stay close to the river, you're not going to be slowed by the forested hills that the river flows through. The forested hills are going to definitely slow your movement, but the riverside is rocky and clear of trees for the most part. It might get denser in certain parts, but as long as you stay close to the river, you can move efficiently. You should get there by the end of the day's march. The ruins to the south, the castle ruins of Volta, is considered to be roughly 4 leagues to the southeast or south-southeast. That's your course of travel. That is a day's worth of marching. We roll 3 dice throughout your journey, 1 for navigation, 1 for weather, and 1 for wandering monsters, the most important roll. Alright. Navigation's fine, weather's fine, and no wandering monsters. After a day of marching, 8 hours go by and it becomes around 4 in the afternoon when your party is pretty tired and has come pretty far over the course of their march to the sighting or the sighting of the ruins. Your march ends as soon as you see them from a safe distance. So up ahead, Augustus might be able to point it out, but Augustus the veteran will be able to point out Castle Ruins of Volta to the south, roughly 120 yards away. So now that you're a safe distance from the ruins and the days will come to an end, you may take your rest. And as your party rests and they've had lunch already, now they're preparing for dinner. But the day will be going by unless you want to force march or work your party overtime. But typically after a day of adventure, the party will rest for about 8 hours and sleep for about another 8 hours. And work for only 8 to 12 hours max. For the remainder of the day, do you guys have anything else to do or talk about? or are we good to rest?
Uh,
So, as a matter of business, I want everybody to take a look in roleplay. If you have an issue with the marching order, please state it now. To Ekin, I will be crafting a 10-foot pole out of a tree branch
Okay, I
and
mean you
giving
could do
it
this, but you do
to.
have a member that has a 10-foot pole on them.
Oh, we do? Okay.
So
Who
if
has
you'd
it?
like to speak up,
Ruben?
you can show Augustus your 10-foot pole so he doesn't have to make one. If he makes one, it's gonna be heavy. A 10-foot pole is specially
Wait, did I
crafted.
have a 10-foot pole? I forgot.
You do.
guys, I'll be right back.
Oh yeah.
Do you
You
want to
do,
Okay,
show
sure,
off?
we'll use that
Okay.
one.
perfect. You're going to be the one using it. So, over the course of the night, I explain the marching order, unless somebody has an objection to it. So the way it's going to run is we're going to have 3 abreast. Me and Baldric in the front. Ruben, you're going to be in the middle, prodding for traps as we go. Erwin, because you have the spear, you're going to be in the back because spears can attack from the back row into the front. And then we're going to keep
sounds
the
good.
squishy safe. Alright, so that's going to be our cleric and our mage.
Sounds
So
good.
once we enter combat, though, what's going to happen is we're going to fall back. Ruben, you're going to fall back with Erwin. Here, I'll post it up as the combat. So what combat's going to look like is Ruben will fall back into the second rank with Erwin,
Hmm.
and then Ollie will fall back and form a third rank.
Okay. Quick note,
Since
because
Erwin only needs line of sight. Oh, sorry. My bad. Fortuno and Ollie will fall back and form a third rank so that we are only 2 abreast.
um
There. So if you take a look in roleplay, the first order is the marching order, the exploration. Second order, my bad, will be the combat order. There we go. That should be proper.
okay.
All right.
Any objections?
Nope.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, we arrest Deacon.
Okay. The day passed by uneventfully, and the night was quiet. In the morning after breakfast, we'll take account of how much food you've got left, but over the past day and night, you've been eating soup, because we have an open water source available to us, the river, or other creeks that you might use. And of course, you've got your food and you've got your fire, so soup was made, saving you a lot of food. After lunch and dinner and breakfast, you lost 12 pounds of food, bringing you down to 40 pounds of food. Alright. It is now morning. After breakfast, it is currently about 8 in the morning, and your party's ready to set out for the ruins, which you can currently see from a safe distance. At the top of a hill, you see the ruins 120 yards to the south-southeast. How would you like to approach?
Just straight on.
A
Keeping
direct approach.
out for the pit trap in the ruins, or in the hamlet, I believe.
Sure. Just describe to me when you decide this, but for now, you lead your party toward the ruins, and the first part of the ruins consists of a surrounding hamlet, roughly a dozen or so buildings safely spaced apart or comfortably spaced apart surround the northern side of the ruins. This is along the river. There are about a dozen buildings on the west side and about half a dozen buildings on the east side. You're on the east side of the river. You crossed over at some point early in the before you even began marching along the river. You crossed over to the east side, and you can see about half a dozen or so ruined buildings along the river. There's a small, or not a small, but an old rope bridge that spans the river if you wish to cross to the west side. The river is roughly 30 feet wide, and you're marching along it, passing by or through the ruins at this point. A direct approach to what you seek, which is on a tall hill covered in forest and or trees. A tall hill that's surrounded by the river. The river creates a sort of natural moat around it. On that tall hill is the castle ruins of Volta, a towering stone structure high above the rest of the village ruins or the hamlet. This is toward your south. You're approaching from the north, and as you're closing in on the distance, the ruins are again heavily vegetated. As you pass along the river, you're passing through a lot of dense wood and thickets, and there's the trees cover like everything. There are saplings growing out of the stone structures and such. The ruin is overgrown, right? It's like a lost civilization here, almost a jungle out here. You pass along the river, making your way through the ruins of the hamlet toward the castle ruin. As you get closer,
Actually, before the hamlet, I'm gonna tie up my horse before the bridge, and then just continue on foot.
you want to tie it at the rope bridge or at the gate bridge? You haven't arrived there yet. You're still
At
in
the
the
rope
hamlet.
bridge.
The rope
Yeah.
bridge. This is halfway through the hamlet.
Oh, it
So
is. Okay. Never
you're
mind.
within
I
the
want to
hamlet
tie it up
still.
outside the hamlet.
You want to go all the way back out the hamlet, or do you want to continue toward the moat and the bridge gate?
Okay, and I'll tie it up at the bridge then.
Okay, the bridge you're at, which is halfway through. This is the rope bridge. This
Yeah.
spans the river east to west. Alright, so when you get to this point, your party is starting to feel a bit uneasy perhaps because when you're standing here, this place is deathly quiet. Unlike the rest of the forest that you were marching through along the river, there was birds and such, but within this area of the ruins where it's kind of a jungle and you see these old buildings that are collapsed and broken, right? They look old and haunted to some extent, right? Like they they just have collapsed and there's just the stone walls and they're all smashed apart, crumbled and ruined. Um, this place is dead quiet. Along the river, you decide that you are going to get to that rope bridge and secure your mount here. The mount's a bit uneasy. You tie it to the rope bridge, and you can move on from here.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to continue, or something else?
Yeah, I tell the party to ready up. If we see anything more than 3 skeletons, we run. And this expedition will be a loss.
All right. You continue along the river, staying close to the river, and eventually you get to the end of it, where you find on the other side of the river there's a gate bridge, or a bridge gate, I mean, and a bridge that spans another rope bridge that spans the moat that's made naturally by the river. The river flows around the ruin. You're on the east side of the river, and the bridge gate's on the west side of the river, north of the river, or north of the moat, of course. Um, but there's an old bridge there, it spans across, and there's an old plank of wood that also stretches across a large gap on the bridge. Um, there's no way to cross the moat easily from this side. You'll have to probably make it back to the rope bridge, cross over to the west side, continue south to the bridge that crosses the moat, cross over the moat. So, unless you want to go around, but for now you don't see any other way across. Right now you can see that you can maybe climb down into the moat and swim across, or go around and look for another way, or of course go back to the first rope bridge, cross there, and then make your way south toward the next bridge. So it's up to you. Various ideas. What is your party's decision?
Can we not just walk over the plank that is placed there?
We're on the east side, right? So
Oh,
We're not in the
Oh,
west
I
this
see.
time.
We didn't cross over. Okay. My mistake. Yeah, we'll go back and cross over so we can cross using the plank.
Okay. And if you object, make sure you speak up. But Augustus leads you back north to the first rope bridge where his horse is. The horse is still there. And you cross over the rope bridge here. It goes across 30 feet. It's old and rickety and has missing planks, but not enough missing to the point where you might fall or there might be risk. As long as you're careful and not running across, you can span the river or get across it and make your way south along the river toward the next bridge. Okay, this next bridge again is the one that's largely destroyed or mostly destroyed, and instead spanning a large 15-foot gap is a long plank of wood. So first you have to get past the gate, which is open. You get past the first gate and you begin your journey across the bridge. The bridge goes across about 30 feet, but again, there's a 15-foot gap that's crossable only over a plank of wood at the moment. Plank of wood is a few inches thick, a few inches wide. This is not a simple rope bridge. This is actually like it was a well-constructed bridge made of stone for the most part. There are like rope handles if you want to use that. But this was a large or decent sized bridge, but it's broken. Someone collapsed it or dropped a large boulder on it or something, but the majority of it is gone. Now the only way to cross is a plank of wood at the moment. Most of you are beginning to cross it, I think, one at a time, or do you want to do it a different way?
One
How
at
would you
a
like to
time.
cross? One at a time? Augustus, what do you think?
In addition, I'm gonna hold the plank on one end to stabilize it
Mm-hmm.
while everybody else goes over.
Alright, so before anyone can cross, Augustus is the first to get there, and he holds the plank of wood steady on the stone bridge on the north side, and the party begins to cross one at a time. Who would like to go first?
I'll do it.
Ollie the medium is first to cross. The bridge is old and rickety, at least the plank of wood is as well. It looks like old wooden planks that were probably pieces from the hamlet north of here. You cross over, you make it to the other side alone, and on this side of the moat, it's also very quiet here. The rest of the party is able to cross. There are no other issues. Augustus, you make it across last, I suppose. And as long as no one was too heavy, you all are crossing without any issues. You've made it onto the north side of the island. So this island's a hill. It's heavily forested, and on top of it, from a distance, you're able to see Castle Ruins of Volta. To ascend, you can either ascend from here or ascend from a different side, but from here, there's a rocky path that leads up. How would you like to go up, or what would you like to do from here?
Yeah, we'll just head up the rocky path. From this point on, I'll keep an eye out and tell everybody else to keep an eye out for a pit trap.
You are looking particularly for a pit trap as you explore up the hill. I'll let you know if you see any, but up the hill, the rocky path, you did not see any pit traps on the way up. You keep your eyes on the floor, uh, carefully observing the floor ahead of you. And if you want, you can have that thief move up to the front and prod the floor ahead as well. But when you make it to the top, you find the north wall of the castle ruin, in the middle of which you see the gatehouse. This is an old stone wall, roughly 20 feet tall. The battlements are slightly damaged, but very sturdy still. The first entry point has an iron portcullis. It's all rusty and old. But past it, through the passageway, you'll see that there's a pit in the entry passage. At the far end of the gatehouse, there's a set of double doors, and they're wide open, allowing access into the ward of the keep, the inner ward. So, how would you like to approach, or in which direction do you want to continue exploring from here? You've made it to the top. You haven't seen any pit traps, hidden ones, except for the one within the main passage, which you can easily avoid. Right. You all can see it. As long as you don't run over it or take any risk around it, then you should be fine. You can walk around it.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. Alright,
Okay, you see it.
we'll just continue in through
Alright.
the gates into the courtyard.
You lead your party
Okay.
through the gatehouse at this point. So, Augustus is first with his thief, Ruben, and the rest of you begin to follow after. But as you make your way through this passage, it's kind of wet and slippery. And when you get around the pit, the passage is only about 5 to 7 feet wide, and the pit is around 3 feet wide, so you have to stay very close to the wall, hugging and basically clinging to the wall as you make your way past it. And then when you get to the other side, you can easily make your way beyond the gatehouse and into the ward. And within the ward, as you all begin to enter, you're able to see off to the west, taking up the majority of the western side, is the eastern wall of the actual keep, the house of the castle, right? Off to the east, along the north wall, you'll see a stair starting toward the east, going up west. That will ascend the battlements. You'll see off to the east, along the east wall, there's an old stable there. Toward the south, toward the center, you can see a well. And far to the south, along the south wall, is an archery range. And also starting along the eastern side, toward the south, on the battle or on the keep is so on the eastern side of the keep, which is to your west, you'll see a stair starting toward the south, ascending toward uh, the entry. A small wooden door, 3 foot wide, 7 feet tall, barely hanging on the hinges. It's old and open. How would you like to continue from here? There are no threats within the ruins at the moment.
Alright, we're gonna head to the stairs
All right.
and keep going that way.
You've made it to the stairs. You made your way across the courtyard, and at this point, the party might be ascending the stairs or getting ready to. So you stand at the bottom of the stairs. The stairs don't go up too high, but they do go up higher than the rest of the ward. Not as high as the battlements, but they do go up to a door which is on the east side of the keep. So at this point, is this where you want to light torches, perhaps, or do you want to ascend at this point, or something else? But you stand
If we're
here.
confronted by darkness, yeah, we'll break up the torches
Okay.
and
I will
light up
pull
the.
out 2 torches.
2 torches, okay.
Yeah,
So
and
Ollie the medium removes from his bag 2 torches, and what else did you say you wanted to do?
uh, Augustus, would you mind lighting those?
Yep. So
Okay.
Ollie has one. I light Ollie's, and the other one I'll give to Ruben.
All right. And as they're preparing torches, does anyone else want to do or discuss anything? Otherwise, you're just standing around waiting. Okay. Augustus, you have prepared the torches with Ollie. You pass the torch off to Ruben. Ruben, would you like this torch or something else?
Wait, what do you say?
A torch is being passed over to you.
Yeah.
It's a flaming torch. Which hand would you like to put it in? Your main or your offhand?
I guess my offhand.
Alright, in your main hand you have a 10-foot pole at the moment, which you've been asked to use. You've been prodding ahead with it. You can continue doing this or something else. Let's see. Alright, so Ruben has been assigned torchbearer duty. Very important role. Without you, we cannot see. He also has the 10-foot pole. And Augustus, you passed the torch, or Ollie is holding onto one of the torches as well.
Correct.
Okay, so
Yes.
for marching order, you guys have posted your ranks within the chat. Looks like Augustus and Baldric will be the vanguard. They'll be taking point. They are first rank.
So there's just to make note, Ethan, there's 2 marching orders. One is for out of combat, one is for in combat.
Okay. So which one do you want to use for now? What's the main one?
The main one is the out of combat, the
Marching
initial.
order. The first one. So
Yeah, it
Augustus,
says
Ruben, and
marching order
Baldric.
on it.
Okay,
The second one is for in combat.
good to go. So in a three-man formation like that, or three uh, columns, in a 10-foot quarter, this is considered to be a tight formation. In a 5-foot quarter, for example, this would be nearly impossible. It'd be a very tight squeeze. You couldn't move at that point. You could stand together, but you couldn't really move. Um, let's see. So naturally, I would say if we do come into a tighter space, you can have one person fall back into rank 2, and then rank 3 would become or rank 2 would become rank 3, and one or two people from rank 3 would make a fourth rank if you are forced into a tighter space, for example.
Yeah, if we're forced into a 5-foot corridor, then we'll fall back into the battle formation.
Okay, that's good. That works too. So Ruben is first rank with Augustus at the moment, and Baldric. I'll note that down. First rank. The rest of you form a second rank. Okay, so Ruben, Augustus, and Baldric, you'll be leading the way into the dungeon. Okay, so from here, torches have been lit. The stairs are north of you along the east side of the western structure, which is the keep. How would you like to continue?
Alright, sorry, say that again.
How would you like to continue? What would you like to do from here?
Are we in the
You're at the
courtyard
bottom
yet?
of the stairs.
Oh, we ascend
You
the
haven't
stairs
ascended
and
yet.
go in.
Okay. You ascend the stairs in rank. The stairs are not as wide, so you would march in the 2-column formation. When you reach the top, the door is only wide enough for one to go through at a time. It's 3 feet wide. So you can do 2, but that would be a very tight squeeze naturally. Wouldn't make sense. But you start to enter, and as soon as you enter, your torchlight reveals 20 feet ahead, and you're able to see off to the west, past the small intersection. There's the main hall, continuing off westward, supported by stone pillars, small stone pillars, and there are tables here, and it's covered in mud and dust and rainwater. There are some skeletal remains on the floor here, so the bones of human bones lying on the floor. Um, they're mostly spread apart, but you can see like rib cages and such. People have died in this place and have been left to rot. Um, North of here, the intersection, there's a small passage that continues north for about 10 feet before going west, and south of you is another side passage going about 10 feet south before turning west. So you have 3 options to continue: west into the main hall, north into a side passage, or south into a side passage.
Go north into the main hall.
You said west?
North into the main hall.
I said north doesn't go into a main hall. North is a side passage, and it goes west.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
West
so you
into
go
the
10
main
feet
hall, then I
north through a
believe.
side passage, and it takes you west. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay. As you turn west, you'll see up ahead, after about 5 feet or so, or 10 feet or so, there's another small intersection south of which leads into the main hall. You just saw it earlier. But further west continues into darkness. Which way would you like to continue?
Alright, so we can go.
I think we should head west.
Yeah.
Alright. So when you get to the
So let's keep
intersection,
going west.
you want to continue west, ignoring the main hall to the south.
Oh, I see. We're okay. No, we'll head to the main. Where have we gone through the main hall?
We're in a side passage still. It's going east and west. You're now standing at a small intersection east of which you just came from, south of which is the main hall, and west of which it continues toward a dead end where you see a trap door. It's an open trap floor door. It's not trapped as in dangerous, it's trapped as in it's a floor door. That's to the west.
Okay. Yeah, we'll head to the main hall.
Alright, you lead your party south into the main hall, and in the center of it, which about 5 feet from where you entered, toward the south, is the start of a large pit. There's a large pit that collapsed, or the floor has collapsed here into the cellar, from what it looks like. The cellar is full of shelves and old storage units. You can see like old baskets and crates and vases down there. But you're now in the center of the main hall, it looks like. Off to the west, you can see in the dimness of your torchlight what appears to be some old wooden thrones, about 3 of them. There are 2 tables in here, about 4 pillars supporting the height of the ceiling above you. There's one other exit directly south of the entry that you just came through, or the intersection you just came from. South past the pit on the south wall, or not south, sorry, east of you, directly east of you is another exit. That's again a what appears to be. Oh no, it is south view. Yeah, south view is another exit. It appears to be an exit to a side passage. East of you, you can see is the first small intersection, which leads outside. You can see the main door, the entry. It's open. Daylight comes through from the east, and again, west is the thrones. North, you just came from the north. So how would you like to continue?
West to the throne.
Okay, your party has made their way over to the thrones. There are 3 old wooden thrones here. It's dusty. There's not much else in this area. There are 2 pillars nearby. Parts of the wall have collapsed into this area as well. So it's all chipped and broken. A few arrows lie on the floor as well.
Are they broken or
Yeah, they're old and broken.
somehow damaged? All right.
From here we head north.
You're at the north wall. You can continue east along the north wall to where you see the exit from which you just came from that leads into a side passage.
Yes.
Okay, now.
Which way would you like to continue from here? You're at the north wall of the main hall, toward the west.
And east goes outside.
East, if you continue east all the way, it will lead toward the eastern exit, which will lead to a small intersection, which can lead outside.
But there's no north. Okay.
You can go north from here, if you go east first. If you go east along the north wall, you'll see an exit that leads to a side passage, if that's what you seek. You came from there earlier. You were in there moments ago.
Yeah, I'm trying to make heads or tails of this map, and it's just not working out. This is
We
what I
have
hate
to
about
head.
being
We
taller.
have to head back from where we came and then continue west.
All right. Well, if you know where to go, then we'll follow you. Cause yeah, this map is too confusing on the upper levels.
Alright?
Okay. So we're heading back to the intersection we were just at.
So you want to go east and then north.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You're continuing east along the north wall, and then you go north into a side passage. It goes east and west from here.
West. We head west.
Toward the west, you'll see at the end is a dead end, but there's a trap door there on the floor. And
Then we
beneath
go
it,
through the trapdoor.
Okay.
you stand before the trap door. Beneath it, open to you is the start of a very narrow set of spiral stairs descending below the trap door.
Well, Augustus, lead the
Understand.
way.
A turn has passed while you are down here in dungeon level 0. Augustus, you've been
We
called
descend.
upon. Okay. You lead your party down the stairs into some kind of cellar. It continues to the southeast. On the north and western wall, you'll see shelving. Toward the southeast, the floor is collapsing. Or is sloping. It's not currently collapsing, it's already collapsed toward the southeast. Which way would you like to continue exploring? At the bottom of the stairs. The chamber continues southeast, so if you want to go through the chamber, you can go southeast. You can see the north and western walls. The north wall goes east, the west wall goes south.
Southeast then.
Southeast through the cellar. It is sloping
Yep.
off to the southeast, and this sloping chamber slopes off toward what appears to be a large pit in the middle of the cellar. Shelving units, crates, and such have all kind of collapsed down into the pit. And this pit descends roughly 10 to 15 feet into a large pit, cavernous pit that's wider than the hole itself. There's a set of spiral stairs at the bottom, large stone stairs leading down below, deeper below the cellar and the ruin itself. But the way down, you can see you might use two ropes that hang from the western side. You're northwest of the pit. How would you like to continue?
We use the ropes to descend.
There are two ropes here that you use to descend. Your whole party has made it down into the cavernous pit. Torches dropped, picked up again when you get to the bottom. The stairs descend from here. Another set of spiral stairs, wider than the first one, about 5 feet wide, spiraling down. Stairs take up in the stairs are within a 10-foot pit. Otherwise, there's nothing really interesting in this cavern. It's a 15-foot by 15-foot cavern. The pit above you is about 10 foot, and the pit below you is about 10 foot. Ten-foot wide, that
On
is.
swimming, keep on
Should be
swimming.
in the dungeon, almost in the dungeon proper. So there should be an exit to the.
We have to head
Wow.
down the stairs first.
Oh, we haven't gone that. Okay, yeah, we go down the stairs.
You begin to descend a set of stone stairs that are 5 feet wide. It continues getting colder as you descend. Eventually, you're making your way down into what appears to be a large cavernous chamber, roughly 30 feet wide, 30 feet north, and has one exit off to the west. An old wooden door, about 3 feet wide and 7 feet tall. This chamber smells awful. As you get down here, besides the swampy smell you've been smelling from the outside and in certain parts of the cellar, it now smells rotten and moldy in here. And there are plenty of bones in the mud and the pond water at the bottom of this cavernous pit. Bones of humans and bones of creatures unrecognizable to you.
Alright, we continue through.
Okay. Nothing really new here, just mostly bones. You continue in which direction? One more time? West. After 10 feet from the stairs, you arrive at the western exit. It's a single wooden door here. Beyond it, it's open and allows access into a larger cavernous expanse of a chamber that continues northwest. You can see the south and east wall from this exit from within the chamber ahead.
Alright, we'll head northwest.
It is a massive expanse of a chamber that continues northwest, and you continue northwest, and soon you see no walls around you, just stalactites and stalagmites, and you're passing through this area. It's about 8 to 10 feet tall, and there's water everywhere at your feet, but you pass on through, and each step echoes throughout the massive expanse of this cavernous chamber. You continue northwest throughout the open darkness, and as you continue along, I'm going to see what else you might discover down here, but this is a large expanse and it continues for a long time as you continue to carefully march off to the northwest. Right. As you pass through this area, you will come across what appear to be old crystal formations or strange crystal formations in some of the stalactites. Dripping water reveals some of the stalactites, or reveals within some of them looks like purple crystals, amethyst, or quartz. You want to just pass these by and continue northwest, or something else?
Yeah,
It is about
pass
30
them by.
feet from your previous position. What was that?
Yeah, pass them by.
Alright. As you think you're getting closer to the northwestern walls, you come across an old wooden chest among the stalactites stalagmites. This area is cleared out. Looks like someone was camping here or something like that. An area cleared of most of the rocks, stalactites and rocks pushed to the side. In the small clearing, again, there's an old wooden chest and a wooden beam that supports the ceiling above.
All right,
You want to
well,
continue
ignore and
toward the
continue on.
northwest, or?
Yeah, ignore and continue on.
You're approaching the northwestern corner, and toward the north now you'll see one exit. North, or a wooden door to the north. It's about 5-10 feet from the western wall. This is on the north wall. The door is open.
We'll go through it.
Through this massive expanse of the chamber, you finally make it through toward a door that you're now going through, allowing access into what appears to be a stone chamber. The walls are stone brick, the floor is tiled with stone, and it's a round domed stone chamber with 4 pillars supporting the domed ceiling above. Each one has a banner hanging from it. They're all the same, purple banners with a gold chalice, but they're all old and dusty. In the center between all the pillars, um, there's a large wooden table with a few seats left. Most are broken now. There's also some small round tables between the pillars and a few stools here and there. Um, there are some wall sconces at the doors, and you can see there are cracks in the floor, mostly toward the southwest. There's one other exit that is visible from here, which is on the western wall. This is a stone door. It's currently closed. It's strange because it has no handle, but it does have a strange stone mechanism on it. 4 stone panels. On it are written some strange runes in old ink, old dried ink.
All right, I've seen people solve this before. The answer is in a role play.
I I'm going to go and pull out ink. I have ink, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll pull out ink and trace the ruins with the ink in my finger.
With your finger or your inking quill?
Ink and finger.
Okay. You take ink on your finger and you trace over the current runes. And as soon as your finger presses against each tile, it goes in. As soon as you finish writing the rune, the tile presses in and becomes the same kind of. It becomes the same with the door, the rest of the door. So it's no longer protruding from the door. It goes inward, and soon, once all of them are pressed in, after you trace over the runes, the first top left one you put the letter O, then you put the letter P on the next one. The bottom left you put the letter E. Bottom right you put the letter N, and all of the tiles go in, and then the door begins to slide open toward the south, allowing access into a wine chamber, a wine cellar. All the wine pots in here are smashed apart, old and broken. There are 3 rows of wine pots, and off to the corner you see more wine pots, all broken and old. And as soon as you open this chamber, or the door to the chamber, immediately you begin to hear scampering feet and splashing water toward the southwest. The chamber continues westward from the door. It is a 30-foot chamber, 30-foot square chamber, and you're entering from the middle of the eastern wall.
All right, I tell
There are 2
everybody
other
to stay
exits.
close. There is rats in the area. They won't approach the light. Do not engage them. From here, we continue to head west.
Okay. Your light reveals to the west, past the rows of old clay pots. The room smells of wine and rat feces. And when you get to the western wall, you'll find that there's one arched exitway leading into some kind of workshop. 30-foot chamber, evenly spaced and lined up with this chamber. You'll see on the table are tools for chiseling stone, and off to the west, all along the western wall are these stone bricks, the same bricks that are used to make the walls of this dungeon chamber, or these dungeon chambers. On the east wall are a few other shelves with other tools such as spades and hammers and chisels and such. There are two exits from this chamber that you can see as you explore into it. Off to the north, you'll see it leads into some kind of storage room. You'll see baskets and old food in there. To the south, you can see it leads into a corridor as you explore west into this chamber. And as you explore, and I'm assuming that to be careful, any torch bearers are providing light, any pole bearers are prodding the floor, any weapon carriers are on guard.
Yes.
Yeah, I say to everybody, pull out your weapons. We're down the dungeon proper, just to be safe.
Weapons readied. So if you don't have anything in your hands, like a tool or a torch, you're armed. Unless you want to enter peacefully, keep your weapons at your belt for whatever reason. But you are hostile toward the dungeon, bear arms. Which way would we continue? South or north? Or do you want to explore this chamber? Okay,
No,
you go
we're
through this
moving
chamber
south.
toward the south then. The chamber is empty otherwise. Doesn't have anything else of value that you can see. And toward the south is a 30-foot long corridor. Halfway through you'll come across an old skeletal remain. It's headless. It's up against the wall and it's completely looted of anything valuable. Just the bones of someone dressed in old clothing. Old and dirty clothing. Toward the south you'll see that it leads into some kind of chamber similar to the one you were just in, but only half constructed. The northern half is bricked and tiled, but the other half of this 30-foot chamber is still cavernous and dug out. But this chamber is not as tall, not as well maintained as the previous chamber, or made as the previous chamber was. It's only half constructed, and along the east and western wall are tables with chairs and such, and tankards and such. In the center you'll see some old barrels, about 2 of them there, and toward the south is your only other exit that you can see. It is an archway, an open archway, leading into another corridor that continues south. Nothing else of value in here, looks like.
South.
Right. There's a 30-foot chamber. It's quite large. You go through it and into another 10-foot wide corridor, standing 3 abreast. Exploring ahead, you'll go through another 30-foot long corridor that leads into another cavernous chamber. This chamber is just cavernous. It's 30 foot by 30 foot, dug out, 8 to 10 feet ceiling above you, and it's full of wine pots. All of them are broken or smashed, pretty much, and old. So old, open, empty, broken wine pots, just filled with them. About 40 of them in here, a little less than 40. Off to the south,
40 what?
and each
Sorry,
pot, by the way, is about 3 foot. So these are large wine pots, but there's about 40 of them in here. And then to the south is your only other exit.
I don't think we've been here before. Do we want to loot them?
We've been here before.
No.
This is explored territory. We moved south.
Okay, sorry.
Alright. Just to
As
let
we
you
moved,
know.
Fortunato was gonna keep his eyes on the ceiling.
Okay. You make note of that. So as you're exploring, Fortunato is on guard for the ceiling now. He's particularly watching the ceiling as you guys explore. Okay. We are making our way southward and through a corridor again, leading into another 30-foot round chamber that is well constructed. The chamber's got smooth stone floor and stone brick walls, and there's 2 exits from here. There are wooden doors, one to the west, one to the south. On the eastern wall is some kind of the stride mechanism. Not far from it toward the south is a stone altar of sorts with a metal bowl on top of it on which it sits some kind of strange pressure plate. But a statue on the east wall that's been broken, and the old mechanism reveals some kind of angel that seems to be dripping with strange dark purple liquid. Or it's all dried up now, but you can see that it was dripping at some point. It probably fed the bowl in which on which it sits on the altar, of course. The altar is moved though, so it moved it off toward the south, or away toward the south. The southern door is open, the western door is closed. This is a 30-foot round chamber. It's pretty large and open. As you explore into it, your torch reveals that all of that once you get toward the center.
What's
But
behind
nothing
the
else has
western
been
door?
spotted down here. It's been pretty quiet. We're still in dungeon level 1. And it's
Yeah.
currently turn
We
5 right
the
now.
last
You want to rest here at turn 5? Going into turn
5?
6. Yeah, we're on turn 5.
No. Oh, it's getting close. Yeah, we'll rest here.
Okay, so you rest here to turn 6. As you rest, we'll take a small break. And by the time you come back, it's going to be turn 6. At the end of turn 6, which is turn 7, your torches will die. So you'll need to light new torches at turn 7. But resting from turn 5 to 6, go ahead and take a 5-minute break. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. As your party
Okay.
rests, you guys rest too.
Mm.
Alright, so I need to ask, to the west is a place I haven't explored. Has anybody else? It's not on the map.
No siree.
No,
We are
I
on second.
know I know there was I think there was a trap door they told me that they got past, but as far as that, I don't think anybody's actually explored to the west of this room.
I
Okay,
think
so
we should
we
continue
can
down
do
the
so we can
stairway.
finish this off.
I think
Okay.
we should continue down the stairway. I think that leads
No,
to dungeon level 2.
we're gonna finish off level 1 first. I want to
Yeah,
completely
Okay.
the western one.
finish off level 1. Then we could go
Yeah.
down to level 2.
No one's ever messed with the pressure plate either, with the bowl on it. Samantha kept on skipping it whenever we would come down here.
No, that definitely got messed with. It was a wine dispenser.
Oh, what
Yeah.
did it?
Yeah, and
Oh, okay.
and
That's
it's
what
out
the
of
red
wine.
liquid was. Because I remember Idol taking back a mug of wine and then drinking it as to
Oh,
not
okay.
waste it.
That's actually pretty neat.
Yeah, it was a wine dispenser, as Idol says.
If we get rich, I'd like to hire some people to bring it back to town.
The
If you manage to
mechanisms
get them
broke it.
here.
They moved the pedestal or whatever, and it broke the mechanism, so it doesn't work anymore.
Oh,
It just flowed out.
We might be able to find a craftsman that can repair it, but that's long ways ahead.
it doesn't have to be that long ahead.
So let me ask, wasn't it supposed to start like half an hour ago?
Nope.
Because he said 20 JST, and according to my internet, that's like half an hour ago.
Mm, to me, it says
It's
2
currently
p.m.
22:36 JST.
It's 22 right now? 22:36? Huh.
Yes.
And your
We
post
started
said
at
5.5
20:30.
hours from now. Your post said 5.5 hours from now, and it was like, this is 6 hours from that post, so confused.
Huh? I posted 5.5 hours ago. Let's see, where was that?
Yeah, that's wrong. It's not 5.5 from then.
So if you look at 4:30, it was 4:36 p.m. for me at that time. 5.5 hours from there, that would be Oh, that's strange.
That would be about like half an hour ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, must have gotten that wrong. That must have been me. But 20 JST was 2 hours ago now. About two
Okay.
hours ago. Sorry, that's not beyond my bad.
All right, no problem. I just
Are you
wanted to make sure I
ready
was.
to add idle in, Ekin, considering the mistake? We haven't encountered anything.
Huh?
Are you willing to add idle in, Ekin?
No, no, he's not.
Considering the
We are
time?
a bit too far ahead for that.
Yeah. Um.
That's unfortunate. Okay.
Yeah. Unless you all wanted her here with you and she wanted to be here, then maybe. But because she's already been here before, so we haven't done much yet.
I hope you do go west because I want to know what's over there.
Yeah, we are. Because I want to have floor one cleared. So we're going west before we go to level 2. So we don't have a really big party, so I don't want to deal with level 2 encounters with only 6 people and only 2 of us fighters. So
Yeah.
3 of you are fighters.
All right. I think that was 5 minutes though, so we're gonna continue from here. Uh, she can take that player's place that was here and left.
I don't mind if she
Um,
joins. It'd be good.
Any objections? And that's up to her too. So if she actually wants to play tonight, but she
Yeah,
can't do anything to prepare.
I'm not gonna join. It's
Too late.
I just, yeah, I was going to, but I figure you're in the dungeon now. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, you could have just been marching around with the rest of the party. So it's up to you.
yeah, we
I'll let you
literally
decide.
haven't done
You're
anything to get here.
one of the senior members.
I have a vague summary if you need one
No,
of what we have
she's
done.
already
So
been this deep, so she knows what's going on. Nothing's happened.
oh, okay.
So Idle, if you want to jump in, you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess.
Okay. You're one of the few players that we might make an exception for, of course. Um, so then, yeah, we've just been exploring level 1. And it's been pretty clear, naturally. We already have cleared it before, so it's pretty clear. We saw the rats. We took a rest, and we're currently in the circular chamber with 2 exits, south and west.
But there's only half an hour left of the session, right?
No, there's an hour. We started at 20:30, 30
Okay.
minutes later. So we still got time. All right.
Already that deep in. Yikes. Alright,
Which way would you like to continue?
we're going west.
Okay, after your rest, you lead your party to the western door. And how would you like to open it?
Let's see, I believe this one was a strength check. So I'll push against it. Tell the party to be ready. Last time I was here, there were beetles or some kind of bug that was behind it.
Okay. So by ready, so far that means just be attentive to take an action, but also could mean that you guys might want to form up into a certain combat formation. Do you guys want to assume combat formation or your marching formation?
Combat.
Okay.
Yeah, I would also suggest that.
Alright. So whenever someone might tell you to be ready, it mostly just means be ready to take an action, right? If you're not here, when I ask you for your action, you're hesitant, you're not doing anything, you're not paying attention naturally, so your character's not doing anything. We're not going to wait for you. That's just a heads up to those who are new or returning players who have forgotten. The door is being opened by Augustus at this point. Unless anyone else wants to take an action, Augustus is doing this. So does anyone else want to take an action or say anything before he begins to force this door open?
Would you like for me to check for traps?
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't be just like kind of breaking a door down.
Okay,
Yeah,
Augustus.
that would be prudent. Let's do that. So we'll have the thieves check the door over for traps.
Okay. So as the Ruben and Eden begin to observe the door, do any of you want to do anything else, or just stand there and watch?
I'm gonna stand
For
guard.
for now, I
Um,
was gonna watch the north entrance or north exit.
Okay.
I'm going to prepare torches for next round when we have to light them up on you.
Mhm. Because it's turn 6 right now. So turn 6 to 7, we're getting this door open and or we're observing the door. As you're searching over, looking over the door, besides just careful observation as a thief, Eden and Beldrick, is there anything else in particular you want to observe for?
Uh, what? Uh, if I take a quick peek to the south, what can I see?
Toward the south, you'll see a door. It's open.
Oh, okay.
It's open.
Yes, there's an open door to the south.
Okay.
Um, Eden and Eden and Ruben though, in particularly, because you're the thieves, I'm asking you if there's anything else in particular you want to observe for as you look over the door for any traps, any mechanisms.
First of all, is there a lock?
There's a lock.
And are there any seams that would indicate that there's a pressure plate or holes of that nature?
There's a narrow slit behind the handle.
Hmm. I'd
It
like to
is on
take
the
a closer look
lockbox.
at that. Yeah, I'd like to take a closer look at that.
So you look into it. As she's doing this, Ruben, is there anything you want to observe for in particular?
Um, not really.
Just looking it over the door. As a
So,
thief,
Ruben,
um,
in
you want to.
situations like this, you can always ask the DM for what your options are. Okay,
Okay. Yeah, sure.
and
What are my
then
options?
there you go.
So you're currently observing for traps. That's what you've been assigned to do. As a thief, that's one of your main roles. But as you observe for it, you're allowed to describe exactly how you're doing it, and sometimes this might reveal a trap right away, right? Where you don't have to rely on a simple roll. The roll is only there kind of as a last resort, right? But if you can find the trap without the roll, then it makes it a lot easier for you and it actually confirms it, right? The roll might not confirm it, right? Or it might just tell you it's trapped, but it might not tell you where. So you're just, I will tell you the area is trapped. The 10 foot to 10 foot area of the door is trapped. That's all the roll will tell you. But in particular, you can tell me what exactly you're observing for, and I can tell you if that particular thing is trapped or not. And certain signs or indicators will indicate naturally a trap or a false trap. So as you're looking over the door as a thief, you want to think like a thief. Is if you don't want to do your roll, if that's fine, you can just look at the door for simply traps. But you can also describe to me in particular what you're checking, whether it be the handle, the wood, the surrounding wall, the floor, the ceiling, up to you.
Wait, since there's like a lock, can I try looking through the lock?
Sure. Like the keyhole.
Yeah.
Okay. As you're doing that, you see Eden's looking behind the handle, and through the keyhole, you'll see it's pretty dark. There's a mechanism in there that might allow you to throw a key in there, or put a key in there, and twist it, right? Turn it, so that you might unlock the door. That's what you see so far. And Eden, as you look through the slit, you can see a very thin blade.
Mm. Yes,
Uh,
there's definitely a trap here. I'd also like to check the ceiling for anything odd. For example, a ceiling block that's ready to fall, or any holes, and also the wall above the door and beside the door.
can I say something real fast?
You look at the ceiling. The ceiling begins to ascend in an arched fashion because this chamber is domed. And as you begin to look toward the walls, as the others are observing for other things, Baldric starts to speak up or do something differently. Baldric, what
Uh,
would that be?
why don't we just try and open the door with the 15-foot pole?
Who has a 15-foot pole? I think you mean 10-foot pole?
Yeah, 10-foot pole. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I have a 10-foot pole. right?
I reckon we could probably get around the trap just by doing that, given the ceiling doesn't fall in on us.
Alright, and as you're discussing that, you guys may stop to discuss, or Eden and the thief will continue searching. Eden, the ceiling is arched, like I said, the stone wall around the door is bricked, and the floor is tiled. Or not tiled, the floor is smooth. Anything else you want to observe for in particular?
Does the door look like it pulls open or pushes open?
You would have to pull this door open. The hinges
I
on
mean,
your
are they?
side.
Do I
And
see any
Ruben,
hinges?
you do see the hinges. Um, and then Ruben, as for
Like,
you, you saw there is indeed a mechanism in the keyhole naturally, where you could put a key in and twist it and perhaps unlock the door.
um, like, does the handle of the door like look off? Like, have anything on it?
The
Like, is
handle
there
itself
anything off of
is
it?
just an old metal handle. But behind it, you can see a narrow slit. This is what Eden was looking at earlier. You also can see that on the back side of the handle, it looks like a you can like if you were to grab the handle, you would be pushing the back side of the handle into the front side of the handle, like a trigger almost. So the handle itself looks like a mechanism. And you were able to observe that without having to spend a turn. But a turn is about to pass, and I'll roll the dice for your last resort kind of check, just so I can confirm to you whether or not the area is trapped. But you have already identified some indicators that will tell you that it is trapped right off the bat. So without having to roll, you've already identified certain traps or potential traps. Anything else you want to observe for Eden or Aaron before we roll the dice and finish your detecting?
No.
Alright, Eden's good. Ruben,
No.
good to go. Alright, I'm now rolling detect traps. Alright, both of you observe no other traps. So if you already observed the trap, you can clearly see it, but you do not notice any other traps after a turn has passed. A turn has passed is currently turn 7 now, and near the end of this turn, of course, fresh torches are being lit up and passed to the current torch bearers, which are again Ruben and Ollie.
I'd also like to light a torch with my own.
That's fine. Alright. Eden has also lit her own torch. Okay.
I looked to Eden and asked, "Does it seem? Is this door trapped? And if so, does it seem like the same trap we encountered on the south door?"
It looks very similar, yeah. So there's a trap here that there's a pressure plate on the rear of the handle and a slit from which possibly a blade would emerge.
Is the door itself locked?
We don't know. We haven't tried to open it.
All right.
But we see a keyhole, so probably. Um,
Should we just bash off the door handle? That's what I was thinking
well,
of doing with the south door. Is just remove the door handle.
I think this
'Cause
is a
we had
pull
to we had
door.
to push it open anyways.
I
So
think
should
this
we
is a
not
pull.
just do that for this one as well?
I think we have to pull this door to open it, and we will need the handle for that. You can see the hinges here,
Hmm.
What
Okay.
kind of
or
rope?
it could be a push door. We might not even need to grasp the handle. If you see
Okay.
the hinges, you can do. Am
You
I
see the
looking at
hinges.
the rear side of the hinges, like the flanges, so that it would actually be a push door, or am I looking at the tips of the hinges where it would be a pull door?
The tips. You would see it. It's a pull door.
It's a pull door. Okay.
We can
So we
use
definitely
we
we
can
need the
use the
handle to
teeth
pull the
pull.
door open.
We can use the teeth pull instead of
Well,
the handle.
yeah, we can use if we use the key, well, I mean, if we're using lock picks, that's probably not going to be enough traction to
Do you
pull
have
the
skeleton
door.
key?
It might not be a skeleton key that works. It might be a actual lock picks, and that will not be a good grip.
Hmm.
I mean, if
Depends on what
anything, I've got a rope. We can maybe tie the rope around the handle and pull it, see if that works.
Yeah, that might work, but not if we knock the handle off, as suggested by Rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if it's a pull door, there's no point in destroying the handle. We'll need it.
I think that Squig's suggestion of sticking the 10-foot pole through the handle and pulling on the pole might work. Why don't we try that?
Oh, I was just saying we should just like kind of try and hit the knob with it.
No, we have to pull the door open. It's not a push. It's
Yeah,
a
why don't
pull.
we try pulling it open with the pole?
All right, let's do that.
Alrighty then. Work.
So yeah, we take the 10-foot pole, we slide it through the handle, and pull.
So you put it through the handle, and you sort of just like, are you trying to like get leverage and pull, or are you trying to like keep it aligned and pull?
Keep it aligned and pull.
Just grab both ends of the pole on either side and pull.
On
The
either
end
side of the
closer
hand.
to the doorway or the wall, you can only put maybe one hand there because the handle's, on the side of the
Yep.
door. So perhaps your strongest man will be on the other side, right? Holding the small or the smaller end or the tip of the pole, pretty much.
No, we're not pulling either ends of the pole. No, we're using the 10-foot pole in lieu of the handle.
Okay. So as
So
you pull
like
against it, it
yeah,
doesn't have good leverage or anything like that, right? It doesn't really have not the best leverage. And as soon as you start pulling against it, you will see that you will trigger the handle, which will cause a very fast and narrow blade to shoot out from behind the handle into the 10-foot pole. And the pole is not cut though. It's a proper 10-foot pole, so it's very sturdy and just bounces right off of it and back into the slit. But there's a scratch on your pole now.
yeah,
Does the door open?
yeah.
No,
Do we get
it's
to
clearly
pull?
locked. As you start, as soon as you did that, you
Oh,
felt the door like
it's
shake a little bit,
locked.
but it's locked. You can feel
Oh,
it is
okay.
locked. All right, you can hear like the mechanism shake.
All right, I'd like to try and pick the lock.
Okay, the lock mechanism is on the door handle or below it actually. So you start picking away at it. The skeleton key it comes with its picks, right? It's a thief's tools, so it comes with it's a ring of key and picks and anything you might need to lockpick the door, pretty much. So you gotta work. Um, start picking at it, and you can try it. That's a level 1 thief first. This will take one turn. So as she's doing this, you guys can take other actions. Does anyone else want to take an action as she begins picking the door the door lock?
Just to confirm, Ekin, the door itself was that a pull or a push?
That's a pull door too.
That's a pull door too. Damn it. Okay,
Um,
thanks.
I would like to kind of get out of the door in case something springs out of it or anything. I'd kind of go a little more to the north and side.
All right, off to the side. So some characters might stay close to the door, ready to protect whoever's picking at it, while others can go off and stay safe and be out of the way. So up to you.
Just a
Well,
little
at
bit,
least
not
Pull
too
out
far
my
away,
mace.
but just
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my mace and shield and be ready to defend the door.
yeah. I'm also
okay.
pulling out my spear and kind of staying uh, next to the door, not really in front of it.
Mhm. Uh, as this turn is passing and she begins to pick, and some of you stand guard at the ready or move off to the side or whatnot, Something is approaching from the north. Your party is not surprised. They can hear it from the distance of 60 feet.
Right.
So, um, being not surprised, hearing it from 60 feet approaching. What it sounds like is, uh, it sounds like sniffing. Like,
Oh,
I'll kind of position myself uh, close to the exit to the north side.
you wanna have a look? Get close to the north exit and peek.
Yeah.
As everyone is making its way to the north, does anyone else want to take a different action? Otherwise, you can
uh,
form a
I'm
combat rank
going.
facing north.
I'm going to
Combat
go with
formation.
him so he
Okay.
has light to see.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll form up battle ranks facing north.
Alright, so you stand protecting the western wall where the thief is picking away at the door. While you're doing this, two men step out of formation and make their way toward the north wall, the north exit. That's Ollie and Erwin. By the time you make your way to the wall, the creatures, whatever they were, are just outside the door, or the not the door, but the exit way here, the archway. They're about 20 feet. They got 40 feet closer within 10 seconds. So they're kind of moving pretty quickly
Uh,
but carefully at the same time. And
what do
with
they
their
look
approach,
like? Or
as they sniff and carefully approach, you can clearly hear them now. They're kind of growling and starting to bark, right?
what
Right.
do they look like?
And as you peek
The
around,
creatures.
your torchlight reveals there's a there's a pack of wolves in the dungeon with you, or
Oh,
wild dogs, right?
Well, I kind of announced to the rest that there's wolves coming.
Let me see how they react as you peek around. What's your charisma? Do you know it?
7, I think. Yeah.
7.
No,
Do you show
9.
your
Sorry,
weapon to them,
not
or do
9.
you?
To the wolves, yes.
All right, you're hostile, -1, and then you have a 7 charisma. Greater chance for them to be hostile back then.
I have 9. I have 9 charisma.
9
7
charisma. Okay, so
dexterity.
just -1 from being hostile toward them. Showing your weapon shows that you want to fight, so that'll increase the chances of them attacking. Um, and fortunately for you, they roll a 10 -1, so that's 9. So it's they're yeah, they're like that. They're just kind of barking and they get some distance from you. As soon as they see you, they actually start to fall back. They're retreating. Do you wanna do anything
All right.
else? Watch them leave, or they are
I'll kind
disappearing
of
from your
check.
torchlight.
I'll kind of just stay where I am at.
Okay, you guard the north door. You're standing here with Ollie, providing you light,
Yeah.
and the wolves are leaving you. They have reacted positively, so they are leaving you alone, despite the fact that you show the weapon to them. Um, they are leaving. Perhaps they're scared. Um, but they take off to the north. Okay, and let's see if that door was opened. 30%. Okay, what's your thief skill at? Is it 20% for doors? Okay. Let's see. Open locks. 20% level 2. Failed. Okay. So you can try again as a level 1 thief. That's one of our house rules. So the other thief can also try as a level 1 thief as well. Would you like to try again? Or do you want to just try to force it open? Say it safe way. It takes one more turn.
Safe way.
Okay.
I think you guys should try again.
We'll spend another turn. So,
Erwin,
as you guys wait,
let's head
it
back to
is
the group.
now. That
Sorry?
was turn 8 to 9, by the way. Um, oh no, that was turn 7 to 8. So now it's gonna be turn 8 to 9.
Right.
For her to pick the lock
I
again.
think Ollie said something to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Ollie,
Erwin,
go ahead.
let's head back to the group.
All right. Well then, yeah, we're gonna head back to
You
the
guys want to fall back? Okay.
group.
The party's regrouped, and you join the combat formation. They're facing north toward the door, protecting the western wall, where the thief continues to pick the lock. Open lock, 60 or 76%, failed again. Your last chance is Ruben. Would you like to spend another turn picking the lock? So
Yes.
you don't have to make any noise. Okay.
Can I
Alright, that
join
was
the
turn 8 through 9.
firing formation, please?
You may. 9 through 10 is Ruben picking the lock, while the rest of you stand by or on guard if you're paying attention. Okay, 44% failed. So the safe way, we gave it a shot, but it didn't work. None of the thieves were able to pick the lock. And it's turn
Well,
10,
let's get breaking.
so now we have to force it. Okay. No wandering monsters approaching at the moment. None that you can hear, at least. How would you like to force the door open, or would you like to move on to a different door? The south door is open. So if you want to get this western door
Check
open, you're
my
going to have to
mace
force it.
and smash the lock.
Okay. Give it a go. Two-hand it.
Yep.
Alright. You give it a swing. We're going to call this a force check to smash the lock off. Or not the lock, but the handle. The lock is in the door, so most you can do maybe is dent it or smash it, but you can't really knock it off. It's like embedded in the
Attack the
door.
hinges.
As he's smashing at the handle, you want to hit you said you want to hit the hinges?
No, I offer him advice to attack the hinges. I don't have anything to attack with.
Okay. So you suggest the hinges. Augustus, you're about to hit the handle. Do you want to stop and go for the hinges instead?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll
you guys
just go
want to
to the
remove this door
hinges
entirely.
instead. Pardon?
Yeah. You're trying to remove this door entirely then?
Yeah.
Alright, keep in mind if you remove this door entirely, you no longer have a barrier between this door and the chambers beyond. So, okay. Um, you go ahead and smash away at the hinges. There are 3 hinges. You start with the lower one or the middle one or the high one,
Hi.
tall one. The first one, top one, okay, or the
Yeah.
top one. Alright. Okay, so you go ahead and give a swing at that one. What's your strength?
+1.
+1. Okay. So instead of 3 and 6 chance, because you're using a mason, 2 hands, I'll say you have a 4 and 6 chance here. Okay. Higher than average chance. Your first attempt, the first hinge is smashed. It's smashed in. It's bent. It's not broken off or anything. But that was one swing, and it made a lot of noise. I'm gonna do a wandering monster check. Do you want to try again? One more swing might break it off, right? It might actually like loosen it from the wall. All right, you swing again. Your second attempt, you smash it in, and at this point it pops off the wall, right? So the top hinge is broken. I'll roll another wandering monster check. All right, more noise made, nothing approaching. You go for the middle one, and you guys, it might be easier to do this if multiple people swing at once. You will get it done quicker, and less wandering monster checks, right? Because I only can check for wandering monster check once, right? Like per action. So if he does it at the same time someone else hits another hinge, that might mean less wandering monsters for y'all. You can get close to the treasure easier. So if you want to leave Augustus doing this by himself, you can, or you guys can work together and have one more person go for the bottom hinge while he goes for the middle hinge of the door.
I have a question. If you hit locks or whatever with sharp-bladed weapons, will they become blunter?
Yes, this will ruin your weapons.
All right.
Weapons are not tools, so his mace will become chipped and smashed or broke. It'll become a
Do our
-1.
weapons have metal sheaths?
Some of them might. For the most part, it's leather with metal casing, maybe for like the ends.
Perhaps use the pommel of a sword or something like that. Something heavy.
Fortunato has a club, but that's wooden.
I have a morning star.
The morning
You can use your
star will
Morning
work.
Star if you want. You'll just ruin it. Morning Star has spikes, right? You'll smash
Yeah.
off the
Yeah.
spikes, ruining your
Yeah,
weapon. The whole
not
purpose
worth
of
it.
a Morning Star.
I'll hand Baldric my club, and I'll tell him to use tri-elites with that. You know, it's wooden, but it's better than nothing.
I can try with this club.
Okay. It's got metal studs or spikes in it. You go ahead and swing, right? For the most part, though, it's gonna be wood on metal contact, which is gonna make noise, but won't be enough to break any metal. Let's
I'm
see.
using his club, by the way, not
Yep.
my morning
All right,
star.
the two of you go ahead. There's only a check for Augusta still, because this is the club actually just makes noise. It doesn't have any chance against breaking metal, unless
I'm not
you
gonna.
unless
I'm
you
not gonna do
attempt for a
anything.
long time. But
If it has no effect on metal, then I'm just not gonna do it.
all right. Well,
I'll
you
hit
definitely hit
the.
it pretty hard, right? Wood against metal, makes some noise, um, but it will take a lot to smash it off. In your next attempt, Augustus, you have damaged the middle hinge now. Not broken yet, it's damaged. And you have made noise. Ordinary monster check. Win the clear still. You want to go again?
Yep.
Okay. Your second attempt failed. You try again, but there's a ordinary monster check before that. Alright, here's your next attempt. And speak up if you want to help out, by the way. But otherwise, it's just Augustus getting this done. Your next
No,
attempt
we don't
succeeds.
have
The
the
middle hinge
weapons
is
again.
off. What was that?
We don't have the weapons. We clearly just established that. I'm the
Alright.
only one who can do this.
So,
Man, we need
the
a
middle
fucking
hinge is off
crowbar.
now. We made more noise. Nothing approaches. At least nothing we can hear approaches now. Um, this is taking rounds, you know, not a turn to do, but a turn will pass by the time he's done with this. He tries again against the last hinge. Damaged, nothing approaches. Broken, nothing approaches. We got pretty lucky. After all that noise, nothing seemed to have approached. Perhaps we drove monsters away with all that noise or something. But the last hinge is smashed off and the door like starts to fall loose, right? So you guys can hold it upright or you can let it come down.
No, we'll let it come down, but we'll be
All right.
still move back in battle formation, take up my shield.
You pull the door out of the door frame now. It's like loose on the side with the hinges, but stuck where the lock is because it's still locked naturally. So you'll just kind of pull it the other way to get it out of the lock. And you set the door on the floor or on the wall to the side. Where would you like it? The large, or it's not too large, but it's 3 foot wide, 7 feet tall. Wooden door
Just on the wall.
on the wall. Okay.
Yeah.
You set it against the wall nearby, the southern wall, unless you want to specify, but it's on the south wall now, or the southern side of the west wall. And then at this point, you can see ahead of you is a stairway, 10-foot stairway leading down into a corridor that goes north and south. The stairs go down 15 feet. It's 10 feet east to west. It goes west naturally. And let's see what else can I tell you about this stair. There are just sconces on the top. So there's a sconce to your left and right before you go down on the western wall. So within, past the doors on the wall, you see two sconces, and there's nothing in them. They're empty.
So there's stairs. I didn't quite catch that. There's stairs going down,
Yep,
or
stairs beyond the door. They go west 10
oh,
feet,
okay.
15 feet deep into dungeon level 2. There's a corridor going north and south at the bottom.
Oh, okay. So we're in dungeon level 2 now?
We're at the top of the stairs still. We're about to descend,
Okay.
perhaps. We haven't decided. I just told you.
Let's head down.
Yeah, we should
Alright.
probably hit that.
Let's both get up front with our 10-foot poles and check for traps as
Yeah,
we go.
now we start poking the floor.
Poke, poke.
Okay. Floor is being poked by rank 2, or rank 1, which is Ruben. 3-man column. You're exploring down the stairs. They're about 10 feet wide, 10 feet long, 15 feet deep into a corridor. From this intersection, you're in a 10-foot square intersection. That's in a quarter, pretty much. You can go north or south from here. North of you is a 10-foot corner, and it will go west from that corner. South of you is a corridor that continues south for as far as you can see. In this intersection with you, let's see,
All right,
there's a
so
brazier.
if we go north, north goes west, and what is south?
South goes south.
Okay.
Alright, but also in here, there's a brazier down here, and it's just filled with ash.
Oh, blazer. I heard brazier.
Yeah, there's a brazier, like a bowl,
Like a fire pit,
a
but
metal bowl.
yeah.
Yeah, with ash in it. Otherwise, you can go north or south. To the north is again a 10-foot corner that goes west. I'll check if there's anything there. You can see north of you in that corner, there's water dripping out from the corner, forming a puddle of a glistening silver liquid. And south of you, and that's in the northeastern corner of that corner. South of you, you can see that there's a single statue here at this point, and it appears to be a woman. She looks afraid and naked.
Mm.
You said this
That's
is
the
on the
south.
western
Be
side?
careful with statues here. They they can come alive.
I don't think we should touch it.
Can we check out the liquid?
And be careful of liquids.
I know there is on the upper floor there is one that turns you into a ghost.
Hmm.
The statue was on the western wall, correct, of this
No,
intersection?
statues to the south, a pool of water to the north, and there's a brazier in the intersection in which you stand.
I'm gonna search
Okay.
through the brazier, see if there's anything in it besides just ash.
All right. As Augustus is searching through the brazier, does anyone else want to take an action, or do you guys just want to stand there and watch him?
I wanna check out the puddle of liquid.
That's to the
Yeah, I'll
north, so you'll
go
be
for
leaving this
Ollie.
area and going north. Okay. You're going north toward the silver glistening liquid.
Yeah.
And Eden, would you like to do anything?
I'll stand guard.
And Ruben, would you like to take an action?
Um, I don't know. I guess I'll also like guard.
Okay. And Erwin, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I said I went with Ollie to the liquid.
Oh, right. Baldric, your action.
Probably gonna go ahead and follow Ollie to the liquid as well.
Okay, three of you approach the liquid, and Fortunato, what would you like to do?
Who has the torches?
Torchbearers include Ruben, Eden, and Ollie.
Holy.
So no one's going to the statue.
Not at the moment.
Actually,
this
can I
turn.
swap? Can I swap my action and go to the statue?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I'd like to go to the
What's the
statue, but
sighting?
I need a torchbearer if anybody wants to come to the statue.
We can just light you up a torch. We'll just use an extra torch and give one to you.
Alright, who would prepare another torch? Ollie or Eden?
I'll
We'll
do
use
it.
it out of Ollie's bag.
We can use my
Okay, it's
torch. It's
currently turn
fine.
11. We'll light an extra torch at turn 11. It will die in 7 or 6 turns from now. The other torches were lit at turn 7, so they'll die at turn 13. It is currently turn 9, or I'm sorry, turn 11. Okay, so at turn 11, the party spreads out to search the area. We'll start with the statue to the south. The statue to the south, you'll see the floor is all dusty, covered in bits of coppery ore. You can see like chunks of ore with coppery color to it, little bits of copper. Um, it's all over the place. You'll see monster footprints all over the place, little clawed feet, and a beautiful stone statue of a fearful woman who is naked. Her hands are in her, or her face are in her hands. She's on her knees. She looks to be afraid and naked and crying in her hands, and that's it. It's a very valuable looking statue. It's made out of crystal, you think, quartz, but altogether it could be pretty valuable, right? Being carved as it is, it looks like a masterpiece of a statue, right? Like a valuable statue.
Hey guys, you think we could carry this back to town?
How tall is the statue?
It is life size,
Oh,
so it's not very tall because she's on her knees. Um,
how heavy is the
but it probably
statue?
might be pretty heavy, right? Because
Right.
it's made of stone, valuable stone.
Is
Hmm.
is the statue sort of set on like on a base or anything, or is it just like
It's on the
is she
floor,
like
in the
on
middle of the
her?
floor. That's it.
Okay, so there's no base for the statue.
Not really. There's a pile of rock around her, like a small pile of rock, but she's mostly cleaned up. This area of the
Guys,
quarter is kind of rounded off. Like the rest of the quarter is straight, but this area is like a rounder quarter, allowing
okay.
her to like have her own spot.
Guys, I don't think this is a statue. This might be a
Yeah, I don't.
petrified person. Well,
I
no, I
think
mean
that
it's made of quartz, but
you reckon
I don't know
those
if
Pretty
people.
valuable
Guys,
scholars.
stone.
Yeah,
Valuable stone though.
I
Yeah, you
suggest
reckon
we
those
should probably
scholars
just
back at
leave
the
it.
village would take it?
As you discuss it, or as you look upon it, you may discuss it in the roleplay channel if you're not taking an action from here. Do you want to take an action from here, or you guys have to discuss
uh,
still?
no, we're gonna
Uh,
discuss it.
Okay.
yeah.
Feel welcome to discuss in roleplay so we can get everyone else's actions in. So,
Yep,
so you
no
guys
problem.
are discussing. Yep. Go ahead and chat. But we're gonna go to the center area now, the brazier. This is
I
where
have
Eden and Augustus are, and
I have a
Ruben, I think, right?
question.
So Eden, Ruben, and Augustus. Eden and Ruben are just standing around watching for monsters. Particularly Eden, which way or where would you like to listen? Do you want to listen off toward the east from which you came, north, or south? You have party members to the north and south, so you won't hear much. You'll hear them first before you can hear a wandering monster.
Yeah, I'll listen up the stairs to the east.
Okay, that'll be the best area. You can definitely listen for quiet noises to the east, since no noises are being made there currently. And then, Ruben, if you want to be a good guard, you have to go either north or south, so you can hear off to the distance, right? In
I
either
guess
direction.
north.
Okay, so you'll guard the guys going north, watching the west, and the guys guarding north are making their way north. They're approaching a silvery liquid. But before we go to that scene, Augustus, you're messing around with the brazier. As you look into it, you see it's just full of ash and dust. Anything else you want to do to it?
Yeah, I'll like stick my hand in it and see if there's anything within the ash hidden in there.
Okay. There's chunks of wood, you think, and there's just ash as well. But more importantly, there's you pull forth from it a small weapon. There's a sheathed dagger in here, covered in ash and dust. It's all blackened and charred. The leather, though, although blackened and charred, is not at all burnt or damaged. And the weapon itself is in good condition. It's just dusty and dirty.
Yeah.
Alright. Um, you want to keep it?
I offer it to anyone who's interested. I can't. I'm
If
at
that
my max weight.
if that statue comes to life, you should use that dagger on it.
No, I can't.
Hey, I'll take the dagger. Free dagger, bro.
Our
The only way you can
strongest
pass
fighter
it
should
to
have.
is the characters with you. So in your party currently, you're with Eden. That's it. So anyone else can't really do anything because they're split up from you. You can discuss it when you guys regroup, but you guys are spread out. So you guys, the only one who can
You,
interact with them is Eden at the moment, because you're already busy doing something if you are not with them, right? You wouldn't know this was
um,
happening.
hold on, let me check something.
hmm
So, is there some reason you can't take the dagger?
He just might not use it. That's it. He has his sword.
If it is your sword going to damage things that are immune to mundane weapons? I mean, you should. It might be magical. It might be the only thing that can harm a living statue, for example.
All right, yeah, I'll take it then.
Okay. You sheath or you put on your belt, hang it on your belt, and you're good to go. Okay. It appears to be a normal dagger, but it's in good condition. Very good condition. Let's see. It's just dusty, covered in ash. I'll put in your sheet. You also found in there was also a skeletal hand in the ashes, right?
Oh,
So just someone's hand was in there, just burnt. Um, okay, and then from here off toward the south, no, off toward the north, we had four party members approaching the pool of liquid dripping from the top corner, northeastern corner. A strange silvery liquid descends into a puddle of water that it's very slow and dripping, and it's glistening silvery. It's not a normal liquid. It's glistening. It's silver, like liquid silver,
hmm.
but
Can,
not as thick as silver. It's still watery, you know.
is there, let's say, some kind of stick or rod,
Wait,
anything
can
that I
I
don't have to use my hand to touch it with,
can
to
I
poke
can
it?
I take a little piece of my the fabric out of my clothes and kind of throw it in the liquid, see what happens?
You want to rip your clothes? You expose yourself to the
A
mold and
little
disease
bit.
in the dungeon. Imagine your
Just like
clothing is like your PPE, right? So it's like a wetsuit,
just
right?
kind of
If you open it up in the
yeah.
dungeon, disease will get on you.
I mean, no, just like for example, from the bottom of the shirt, just kind of rip a little chunk of
That's what
cloth
he's
to throw
saying.
it in there.
Every little piece of your clothes is important here.
Oh, okay.
In the
Well
dungeon, that is. In
then,
the wilderness, you're fine, but in the dungeon, right now, everything is like sealed tight. You're sealed tight in clothing, right? For the most part.
is there a stone or a stick like all?
That's what I was
You
asking
are
for.
wearing gloves if you want to use your leather glove, but then you might lose your glove if
What
it's
if
like
it
aesthetic or
burns it
whatever
off?
destroys it.
Yeah.
So you're with Ruben. You're with, anyone in your party can perhaps bring out a tool to test it with. Let's see.
Actually,
Ruben's
can't I
carrying a tool.
like try to rip off a part of my rope? Like I have a rope and like can I try to like rip off a part of my rope?
You could.
Oh,
Do you have a
Iken,
knife?
Okay.
Iken. I
Yeah.
I
That's
wanna
smart.
poke the bottom of my torch into the liquid.
There you go. So the torch is a flaming torch, so when you set it down, you have to make sure you keep away from the open flame. You kind of dip the bottom of your torch in there, and nothing happens. The water is very thin. It's silvery and thin, not thick at all, but it's dripping
Hmm,
slowly from the ceiling.
interesting.
Anything else you guys want to try here? Okay, if you're done with this area, you can regroup or you can move on to somewhere else. So that is what you find here. Do you guys want to do anything
Mm,
else? Or if you want to
Does
discuss
I
it still or think about it, I can give you
I
some more
have a
time,
question.
and we'll go back
I
to
have a
we'll come back
question.
to you guys. Yeah, what's up?
Does the liquid did the liquid stay on the bottom of the torch of
It
Ollie's
dripped
torch,
off.
or did it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about to be turn 12 soon. Do you guys want to try anything else before the turn ends?
No,
can
I'll
I
just
put my
regroup.
hand in it to see if it reacts with leather?
Nothing happens.
Okay, interesting.
My
It
initial
dripped off
thought
your
was
leather.
that it maybe was the petrification thing, or the reason for the woman's petrification. But yeah.
Um, can I say something real fast?
All right, we're gonna
Valo,
go
you wanna?
back to the southern party.
Mhm.
So, Baldric, you're not with the north party, are you?
I'm with the statue.
Yeah, so that's your party. So you and Fortunate all have spent some time thinking about what to do next. Hopefully that was enough time so you know what you're gonna do now. It's currently turn 10 now, so you've been thinking, looking at it for about 10 minutes. What would you like to do from here? If you don't
Uh,
have anything else, you can regroup, of course, or
Fortunato, what do you say we do a little experiment?
What do you have in mind?
I say we turn away from it, don't look at it for say 10 seconds, and then we look back.
Okay.
Can
all right.
all right,
You
let's do
you
that.
do that?
Hmm.
Okay. So you turn your back to it, and 10 seconds go by. You turn around, and it's still there.
Nothing's changed at all.
No.
All right, we good.
All right. I'd
And
say let's
there's no
regroup
one
with the
else
party.
around, right? There's no one else around, right?
It's just you and Fortunato and your party's to the north.
Okay,
Yeah,
Fortunato, you
let's.
want to pick it up and bring it back to the party?
I'd say
Oh,
let's
there's no way
regroup.
the two of you can carry this.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's regroup and discuss with them because we have to rest anyways. So, and if we touch it, something happens, and when rest time, it's gonna be bad.
all
So
right. Yeah, let's go.
we'll
Regroup.
regroup with the party.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll regroup.
All right. Let's see. You're regrouping with your party now. The North party is regroupable with, since they're close by, so you're regrouping with them. And before you regroup with them, or as you're regrouping with them, it's Augustus and Eden now. So the two of you were at the brazier. Augustus, after equipping or taking the dagger, um, What would you like to do from here? You can see the southern party is making their way back to you. The north party is kind of still looking at the liquid. Do you want to regroup or something else?
No, regroup.
Okay. Eden, do you want to take any other action or do you want to regroup? Do you want to continue guarding, take a different action, or regroup or something else?
I'll regroup with the others.
Okay. And then back to the north party. Would you guys like to regroup for turn 12? So you guys can take an action
Yeah,
together
I'll
as turn 12?
regroup.
Alright.
Yeah.
Anyone not want to regroup in the north party? Because we were split three ways. Let's see. Okay, so you all regroup. You meet up at the brazier. It is currently turn 12 still, so you still have a turn to go through as a whole party though. Now, if you want, you can use this turn to rest and discuss what you found, so you know what to do next as a party. And then after this rest, it's gonna be turn 13. That's when you have to light new torches again for the previous two torches. So let's take a rest here. Is that alright with everyone? And during your rest, you guys can
Yeah.
discuss if you like. We'll take a 5 minute break. Come back in 5 minutes. And actually, we are actually at the end of our game time. So, unless you guys all agree to play longer, we do have to escape the dungeon. So, right after this break. Um, what do you guys think? Does anyone actually want to play longer tonight?
I'll play longer.
Me.
Okay.
I
Does
mean,
anyone need to
I'm
head out? Because
down.
you played your promised time, so therefore you are allowed to take your leave, right? And for the remainder of the adventure, your character just needs to head out, right? So, of the dungeon. So does anyone need to
If
leave or want to leave?
wait a sec. Can I like think about it for like 10, 15 seconds?
Okay, yeah, take a moment. We're taking a break right now anyway, so 5 minute break. You guys let me know what you want to do after.
Serious set a
I'll see
timer
you
for
guys
five
in five
minutes.
minutes.
Okay. So I thought that it was a weeping angel, the statue.
No.
That was
It's
my
most
idea.
likely a petrification person because, like, in their pose, I mean, it just kind of suggests they were running away from something. And I
Yeah,
think
but
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
saying, like,
But
we
why
can
naked?
make some, we can make some serious bank.
Uh, I don't know, bro. The dungeon's weird. It's just full of weird stuff. Question is, do you guys want to take it back though? Guys, try to
Hear
take
me
it
out here.
back.
If there is like a
There's
living
no way we
person
can
inside
hack that
there,
thing
we
out.
just like have a person. Like, what are we gonna do with a person? I'm sure someone will buy a person.
We are not in a country that allows slavery, as far as I'm aware.
We're in we're in Britannia. I'm sure there's someone who will buy someone else.
Hmm.
No, we can't pack that out. It's too heavy.
I say we just fucking carry it. I don't care. Dude, we haven't made any other money from this expedition. I say we take the damn statue, get back to the town,
Dude, we
sell it.
can't lift it.
Three
It's
people
It's
all
probably can.
too
stone.
heavy.
Why don't we drag it?
Okay, you think we're gonna drag it all the way back to town?
Yeah, I'm thinking if we were gonna get that, we
If
probably get a
anything,
cart and
if
wagon.
Yeah, I know we
if
can't
we
take
drag
it.
it, it's probably just going to
To
deform
break. Yeah.
and break. Yeah.
Well, why don't we sling it over your horse? Goose, you
Because
have a
my
horse, don't
horse
you?
Horse's back is gonna break.
It's a statue, dude.
Okay, but it doesn't have like a base.
It
And I'm
doesn't
sure
It
matter.
still
It's solid
weighs
rock.
300 pounds, at least.
Yeah, but if we have like three grown men and like some determination, I'm sure anything can get done.
Have you tried lifting 60 pounds?
Yeah.
Where do you work out, bro?
Okay. Do you fucking
Not
think
that it's not that hard.
we can lift at a statue that is at the very
Absolutely, bro.
least, 300 pounds?
Oh, absolutely.
Most likely 600.
Even the amount of people we have here, absolutely.
I mean, I we just all have to roll for high strength. So
Yeah, I agree. I have high strength.
I have low. I have negative.
I
Well,
go
then
at
you just
negative
won't
strength
carry it.
too.
is it okay if I leave after, like, if we're going to take the statue up? Is it okay if I leave after we take the statue up?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm
Probably.
probably also gonna do that.
We're
We
not.
can just check first if the group of us can even lift it and carry it out. We were able to lift and
Yeah.
carry out like a 500-pound chest recently, so we might be able to get it. And if we can build a trellis and attach it to the horse, and take it on the
Well,
trellis or the
yeah,
trevla.
I'm in. I can try lifting it.
Sure, okay.
But how are we gonna get it across the bridge though, over the river?
Oh shit.
Ah,
Yeah, we can't do it, guys.
Yeah. I mean, we could bring it up to the surface level and stash it
We could
somewhere, and then
roll it.
yeah, come back another time for it. But the bridge, anyways, is gonna just collapse with it.
True.
maybe we can search for another way out of the keep.
Possibly.
I think it'd be too dangerous now.
Yeah.
You don't have that much food left,
Well, no, we have quite a bit actually, I believe.
do we?
Well,
We
if we
used
just
only 16 pounds.
I have an
Yeah, we have
idea
a lot,
which may
2 days
sound
worth of food.
stupid.
We didn't buy 3 days.
We
Well,
we bought 2 pounds of food, and together with 30% down on food, I think we
We'll,
have enough.
we'll um we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. No pun intended.
Do we have any rope?
Yes,
Yeah.
a bit. Somebody
We
bought.
might be able to get it across the bridge with the rope. But
I
yeah.
have an
I kinda
idea.
doubt it.
What's your idea?
How deep is the river?
It is too steep to climb.
It's too steep. You can't.
No, not to climb, but if how deep is it? Just so I know.
It's
We don't know
too
how
Um,
deep.
deep it is, but
You can
it's like a
drown
15
in it.
foot drop. Like you won't if you hit that water, there's no getting back up.
around the
Because I
moat,
was thinking,
around the moat
we.
is deep enough to drown, but while walking to the city, it is about to the knees.
I was thinking we could probably put the statue in the river, cross, and then pick it up on the other side. But I don't know if it will work.
Well, no, because there's a moat, and the moat's
The
like a
moat's full
15
of
foot
undead.
drop. Yeah, and it's
Oh,
like a
okay.
15 foot drop. Wait, it's full of undead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like the
news to
moat,
me.
like it just like has skeletons at the bottom?
Yeah,
Oh.
don't you remember we were running and we jumped into the river, showed the
Oh,
skeletons?
true. 'Cause skeletons can't really like drown, can they?
No, they
No.
can't.
They're undead.
You know, that makes me scared for what's at the bottom of the ocean.
Okay.
Fucking scuba skeletons.
Well, the hallway also rounds out too. I don't know if you guys want to search maybe for a door that leads further in. I don't know,
Alright, I
but
think 5 minutes have passed now, so we're going to resume. Um,
Aye, aye,
your
Captain.
characters have rested, and at the start of turn 13, you light fresh torches. 2 more torches expanded from. Is it Ollie's pack or bag?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, down 5 more torches. So, okay, then from here, how would you guys like to proceed?
We leave.
It sounds like
We're
one of
not
us needs
all
to leave
able
pretty
to
soon.
continue, so
Oh
we're
yeah,
gonna
before
have
we
to leave.
continue, are we on board with playing longer, or should we head out of the dungeon?
Well, I think I'm gonna go after we bring the statue up, if we're gonna bring it up.
Okay,
If not, I'm
so,
just gonna leave now.
alright,
I'm
so,
And I
ghosting
think
longer.
Pat is on the same page as me.
Yeah.
alright. If you're headed out, then, trying to grab the statue then, before you leave the dungeon tonight.
Yeah. We also have the option of checking if the silvery liquid is any worth anything.
I mean,
You have vials on you?
maybe.
Ollie, do you
Do
have
we
any
have
like
any
magic?
bottles or some containers
The
that we
wine
could put
pots,
it
the
in?
wine pots, on the higher
Oh
level.
yeah, right.
they're all broken though. It
No, I
takes like a
think,
turn to search for it.
yeah, we have to take a turn to search for pots.
Yeah, and it was a very low chance too. Last time we
Mm.
searched for it.
Well, I mean, I found like some shards for like an ornate pot that I sold, so we might be able to find some valuables there.
Alright,
Alright,
so what we're gonna do, Ekin, is we're gonna see if we can pick up the statue. If we can't, we're just gonna leave.
alright,
Alright.
Okay.
so, quartz is about 3 times heavier than the human, okay? So, this statue is about the size of a normal human woman, so we'll say around 140-pound woman. Therefore, 3 times heavier would be about 420 pounds is what we're looking at. Your party together, if they had enough air to, or there's enough surface space to actually get a grip on it, could probably carry it, but you have nothing to use to carry it with. Like you don't have a crate or a cart or a stretcher or anything like that to carry this statue with. So if you're using your bare hands, only a few of you can grab it at a time and actually lift, right?
We
This
can make
again
a
is
stretcher with
420.
the 10-foot poles and the rope.
Uh,
Yeah.
do you have two 10-foot poles with you?
Yeah, I have one, and so does Ruben.
Okay then.
That's smart.
So you make use of your tools. Very good. You have a 50-foot rope. Should be quite enough rope for a stretcher or a length like that. Definitely you create like a net between the two poles, and you can throw the statue over it and try to lift it out of here. Each party member, considering your party is a medium footman rate, can carry an additional max load of. So average medium footman carries 60 pounds of gear. That's what we're gonna average your party out at, about 60 pounds. This is what you're already carrying, so you can march with another 100 pounds. So it would take about 4 or 5 of you to carry it effectively at each end of the stretcher. You do have the manpower for it
Well,
then, so
We
I
can do it.
mean,
it can get done. Is that all you guys wish to do before you head out? Create the stretcher and carry the stretcher out.
Fuck it, we ball. Let's do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
yeah.
Alright, it takes a turn to make the stretcher then. While they're making the stretcher, does anyone want to do anything else?
Mm,
Fortunato's actually
So,
gonna look for maybe a secret door at the end of the hallway, the south hallway.
the south hallway continues further ahead. So,
Oh, does it?
yes. Past the statue, if you are to go further south,
Hmm.
let's see, you're going to see there's there's an empty chest there. That's it.
An empty
From that
chest.
exit, you can continue west or east.
Okay. I'll just regroup with the
Alright,
party then. That's fine.
looks like a chest has been already looted by some other party. Okay. Um, let's see.
Is this the statue that has the other statues of the imps around it?
You don't see any imps nearby.
There was a footprint
Um,
like in the dust around the statue.
yeah, there are clawed footprints all over the place though, in the dust. There are bits of copper ore everywhere, little tiny pieces. Alright. So then the rope is, or the stretcher is made after one turn, bringing us to turn 14. No one else did anything. We did some observation to the south. Now we're going to turn. So 14 through 15, you're now lifting the statue and putting it onto the stretcher. Right. Okay. Alright. Okay, so let's see. As soon as you pick up um, the statue begins to wriggle out of your arms and almost feels
Hmm.
lifelike. It animates. She wriggles out of your arms and is extremely heavy. And although she is naked, she's still wearing some clothing around her personal areas. There's like there's stonework there that you cannot see those areas, but she is holding onto a looks like it is a mace or heavy two-handed mace in her hands. That was
Huh.
she was
Okay.
hiding between her legs and the rest of her body, but her hands were covered until you picked her up, and now they pick up a mace that she was hiding. It's a crystal mace as well. Looks quite heavy. and she begins to wail it around in fear.
He's still as heavy as before, right?
But she doesn't attack you. You drop her. She gets up and just starts to brandish the weapon, but doesn't actually attack at anyone.
Okay.
Hello
Can
there.
I like?
Who has
I
the
got
better
I got the
charisma?
highest charisma. Hey,
Alright, yeah.
relax. We're friends here. We thought you were a statue. I'm gonna say
The
that to her.
statue just continues to swing in the area in
I
I'm gonna
don't think
circles.
say,
she can understand you.
I'm just gonna kind of like put my hands forward and like set my morning star on the ground and just like put my hands forward to show that I'm not a threat to her.
All right, you lower your weapons, and the statue
Ce? Da, am mâncat supă.
the statue falls
Don't care.
back toward the south and then takes a seat. She sits with her mace readied. She kind of sits uh, cross-legged almost, and just holds her mace up, readied against the floor, upright against the floor. So watches you carefully.
Can you understand me?
No, she probably can't. The last statues that were animated were just infused with magic, and they were guarding the altar.
Did she react when I said that to her?
No,
I'm just gonna like point and tap to my ear and point to her. So I'll point to her and then tap my ear.
there's no response.
Does it seem as if her ears or mouth are covered? I mean, her mouth might be covered, but are her ears covered as if she couldn't hear?
Her ears are made of crystal as well. Everything is
Hmm.
crystal still. Smooth crystal, but it moves as if it's flesh.
Hmm.
I'd like to retrieve my
Mhm.
pole, please.
Very shiny piece of crystal. You pick up your pole. It's attached to the stretcher that you guys made. So if you want, you can pull it out and destroy the stretcher.
Yes.
Okay. You guys want to break down your I guess stretcher then, past the gear all around.
Is she still animate?
Yes.
Do
Yeah,
I
at
know
this
sign
point,
language?
I suggest we just head out of the dungeon.
Can I
No,
approach
no,
the
no.
statue?
Hold on. She's
But
still
the
got
statue looks
She's
very
still made of crystal.
valuable.
Yeah.
Can I approach the statue?
If you take a step forward, what's your charisma?
Let's stop him.
10.
10.
I try to stop
You
him.
try to stop him. Do you
Please
want to
don't.
resist and go after it anyway? Eden's trying to stop you from going. She's
I'm
suggesting
going
you wait.
towards the statue.
You resist her?
I'm
Okay.
also
Eden, do you
trying
want to
to
force him
stop.
back or do you let him go? At this point, he's trying to go for sure.
I'm also trying to stop.
To stop him?
Well, I'm
Alright,
just
two people
grabbing his
against
sleeve
one.
and
Okay.
shaking my head, but he can pull his
Yeah.
sleeve out and go if he
Does it?
wants. And I'm
Alright.
I
Erwin, do you
start
want to force him to
leaving.
stay or you guys grab at him, but he's forcing his way toward it now. As he's
I'm
forcing
gonna
away from. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to light my torch off, another torch off of one of the other torches, and
New
go up the
torch. Okay.
stairs.
Alright. You're headed up the stairs after lighting up another torch. And as you're doing that, does anyone else want to take an action?
Yeah, I'll be going with Eden at this point.
Okay. Ollie, you've
Is
got one
Ollie
torch, so you're
still
good.
going towards?
Y'all want
Is
to just
Ollie
So,
like
still going?
fucking shatter the
anybody
statue
else
and
here
Party is
wants
being
to
split.
leave, come with us.
Okay, so
Is Ollie still
Augustus,
trying
Eden are
to
going upstairs. Baldric, what were you saying?
you guys just to those who are still here, you guys just want to kill her, shatter the statue, sell the quartz. Quartz is still
No.
probably valuable.
I
No,
mean, it seems pretty unethical, right?
no. At this point, we don't have the manpower either.
Mm,
Two of our party members
And
just
our
left.
weapons would probably get absolutely
Yeah.
destroyed by the crystal.
Fortunatus is gonna start heading off with Augustus and Eden.
All right.
Damn it.
We
All
So
right.
you
could
head up.
try.
She's
I'll
made
head
of
off and
crystal. Your blades don't look like it's gonna cut crystal anytime soon.
yeah, I'll
Yeah,
go ahead and
but
follow Augustus and Fortunato and stuff.
Okay.
is Ollie still trying to go towards
Ollie,
the
you made your
statue?
way
Or?
toward her, and she backs up against the wall, but readies her mace against, doesn't ready it against you, but kind of lowers it. You come to her disarmed
Can
with the torch.
I'll kind of
I'm
stay
I'm going to
behind
extend my
Ollie.
hand towards her. Not the
Okay.
hand with the torch, the free hand.
And before you do this, I need to confirm everyone's actions. Eden, Augustus, Boundrick, Fortunato, you and upstairs. Erwin, what would you like to do?
I'm staying not too close, but like I'm staying as close as I can without being too close to the statue, close to
Actually,
Ollie in case
So
something
10 feet.
happens.
Give me a distance. I don't know
About
what too
like,
close
I
is
mean,
or
I guess
too far.
5 feet, five
Okay,
five
that's
feet.
pretty close. All right, you're
Yeah,
5 feet from it,
just to
and
protect
Ollie's
Ollie.
approaching and reaching his hand, extending his hand.
I'm gonna go ahead and change my action and just like stay with Ollie.
You can't change
And
your action. You already decided, so
damn
you
it.
gotta wait till your next turn. We're not discussing. We're taking action, so it's not for debate. You already left. Um. So Erwin, you stay down here. Are you armed, Erwin, as well, or
Uh,
still
is it
armed?
possible to hide my weapon?
You can sheath it or sling it if you have a spear, large weapon.
Yeah, I'll kind of try to do that, so
Okay,
that
so you're not armed
the
at the moment.
statue doesn't see it.
She can clearly see
Yeah.
you all are armed.
Okay, yeah, I'll just
But you're not
put it.
carrying your weapon out openly.
No, I'm not showing it.
Okay. So if you're carrying it openly, it means that you're ready for a fight. Typically, you're showing that you're prepared to defend yourself.
I'll put it somewhere where it's not too hard to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I'll
just
just.
wearing it then.
I'm not armed.
Okay, yeah. You think about it, you're like looking back and forth, but that means you're not with Ollie. So, Ollie, you're there. You reach your hand out to her, and she shakes her hand.
I
That's
try
it.
to I tug her as if trying to suggest to come with me.
Um, like you do this to
Like,
her? Like, how do you tell her? She doesn't
give
seem
me
to
a
hear
second.
you, but she
No,
can see you.
as she's holding my hand, I'm just going to slightly pull repeatedly, as if trying to get her to go with me.
You want to force her, or do you want to just tug?
Just slight tug, enough to give the motion, but not actually pull her.
She pushes back and defends herself again. She raises
Mm.
the mace over her shoulder and gets ready to swing.
Okay. Can I pick up my weapon?
Erwin draws his weapon. All right.
Yeah.
Now she you know, got her mace over the shoulder, and she like motions as if she's about to swing. Right. Warning you guys
Well,
to keep your distance.
I tell to Ollie that we should probably run.
No, she's not attacking you. She's just getting ready to attack you.
Yeah,
well,
but I still tell
since she
Ollie we
doesn't
should
wanna come,
probably
I'm
run.
just gonna wave to her goodbye and start heading back.
Okay. The rest of your party
Yeah, I'm
has
a
already left
follow
you.
Ollie.
So let's see. Did you guys plan on waiting for them, or do you guys want to move on without them? So you left up the stairs.
Yeah, wait at the top of the stairs and listen.
Okay. Listen for them. So you guys stood guard on the top of the stairs, hoping that they might come back soon. Otherwise, you would leave them. Let's see. So at the top of the stairs, back in that previous chamber, it would be turn 15 now as you wait for them. Or the end of turn 15 by the time they come up the stairs. Now it's the start of turn 16. We're on turn 16. And let me check for wandering monsters. Okay. Your party can hear something approaching from the south. You've been pretty careful, and whatever it is, it's about 40 feet away from the stairs to the
Are
south.
we all regrouped together again?
You're about to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the rest of the party downstairs, you have to tell me which way you go to get back to the rest of the party. Are you going to continue south or go north? Those are your two options.
Well,
Uh,
do we know in which direction, what direction they took?
There's an
Which direction
intersection
they
north of you, and there's a corner to the south where the statue is.
took? I think,
north to intersection.
yeah, north, because
There's
they
a
probably
brazier
went north.
here. North is a corner, and east is a stair going up.
East.
Okay, you regroup. So before you know it, your party's regrouped. If they made the wrong decision, you guys would not be regrouped naturally. But you regroup before the monsters approach, and therefore you can ready up against them or prepare to leave or something else. What would you like to do as you hear monsters approaching from the south or something approaching from the south?
Go north.
I suggest people to,
We
I
leave.
suggest the other people to leave.
To
We
do what?
start heading north.
Okay.
North.
Why don't we? Maybe we should like see what it is.
No. North.
Augustus leads the party
No,
north,
Yeah, but
and
if
Baldric
we
suggests
Leave
otherwise.
see, we're
north, we're
probably
gonna
not
leave.
gonna
Yeah,
have
I'll just.
time to leave.
Do we
Alright.
leave or do we stay to
We're
see what it
leaving.
is?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd leave.
We're leaving. If Squig wants to stay, he can stay.
No,
Baldric.
I'll leave. I'll leave
So
with
Alright.
Baldric, if Baldric wants to stay, Baldric can stay, but the rest of us are leaving.
No, I'll leave. It's fine.
Okay, you're making your way north. Are we exploring out of here or do you guys want to run out of here?
No, we're gonna run.
Run? Okay, so running means that you cannot carefully observe for traps or map, and it will be an automatic wandering monster check. So, but you might get out of here before a wandering monster can even have a chance. So, I'm gonna roll, see if you disturb any other monsters down here, and you didn't. And as you're running out of here, you just gotta tell me the directions, and you can get out pretty quick. If you make the wrong turn, then we're gonna figure it out, right? But you're
Yeah.
running north at the moment. And north, you go through a 30-foot corridor into a 30-foot chamber with pots going north still, because that's the only way you can go. Or do you want to go a different way?
North.
North. You go through a 30-foot corridor into another chamber. This one has a rest area, tables on the walls. One exit to the north. Which way would you like to continue?
North.
Okay.
North.
You arrive at a workshop, 30-foot chamber, two exits north and east. Which way?
East.
Okay. Another 30-foot chamber with giant rats dropping into a pool of water to the southwest. There's two other exits, north and east. Which way?
East.
There's a exit to the south. You're in a stone chamber.
South.
You're in a large cavernous chamber. It goes southeast. Which way? You can go east, southeast, or south.
Southeast.
Alright, you arrive at the next exit. It goes east through a door that's open. Spiral of stairs here.
Go
Going up the stairs, you're in a cellar. Which direction you want to go?
There should be another staircase going out of the cellar.
It's northwest.
You
North.
find after climbing out of the pit, there's a stair to the northwest. And you get into a dead end corridor, which goes east and south twice. Which way? So it goes far east, but halfway down the south passage or the east passage, which you are going through, there's this exit going into the main hall and exit going toward a door. Daylight.
We go to the main hall.
Main hall, you can see main daylight to the east.
We head east.
There's an intersection here, and there's two other side passages, and there's the exit door. You exit from the exit door into the ruins. Congratulations, you escaped the dungeon. And from here is the journey back home. So, hopefully it's safe travels. We shall see.
Can we check and
So-
see if there's any of Cleo's remains are there?
Where?
It's on the east side of the river in the hamlet.
You guys want to go check it out?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Yeah, it's about
Alright.
10 feet from the riverside, so we just have to go along the river.
You make your way out from the hill, crossing the bridge. You're currently on the western side. So you cross the rope bridge that spans the hamlet onto the east side, and then from this side, you can begin searching for Cleo's remains. And as you roam the hamlet, undead are spotted. Let's see if you're surprised or not. Okay, we are not surprised, but we are in the hamlet, so encounter distance is 2d6, we'll say. And that's going to be 60 feet toward the south. You spot 3 skeletons making their way through the hamlet toward you, past buildings. One of you are able to observe and see it. Tor was being careful. Back to where you guys had come from. 3 skeletons approach from the south.
Clear it.
Right.
We
Yep.
can.
Fortunato's gonna step forward and turn on dead.
Okay. You stand where they can see you. You try to turn them. Is there anything in particular you want to say, or do you want to just say turn back on dead?
Yeah, just turn back from whence you came from.
Okay. You command them, and it's working, and they're driven off. You see them turn around and disappear back into the rest of the ruins. There's another. As you're searching for his remains, there's another 3 that approach from the east, which you can sort of turn right away. It works again, and they're all turned. And the last group of them is 7 of them approaching from the south again. This next group, you're not able to turn right away, and they get pretty close, and you make a second attempt. The distance that they were spotted was 60 feet, so they would move about. They would move 40 feet per, or they would move 20 feet per round carefully. So at 40 feet you try again. Didn't work. At 20 feet try again. It worked, and you turned all of them at 20 feet. So they got pretty close before you turned the ones to the south.
That was too close.
That almost meant for an encounter, or called up for an encounter, a
We
combat.
should have left well before that.
Okay, well, make sure. Sorry, but yeah, let me know next time for sure. I'll make sure to give you the option to run if that happens.
Yeah,
if they got too
please.
close.
That's appreciated.
Can someone
But
can
he was turning
someone
them, so and he turned them all eventually. He could turn them every round or try to. Um, the
I
rest
have
of you
a question.
attempt
Can
to.
someone
Go ahead.
can someone maybe re-explain TLDR maybe of what happened? I didn't quite catch that because I was lagging and also I didn't really understand fully what was happening.
We were searching for Cleo's remains in
So
the
past character.
hamlets, and we found multiple groups of undead that we turned using the cleric's ability.
Oh, okay, thanks.
So we didn't
You
have to fight
eventually
them.
are able to find what's left of Cleo's remains, though. It's not too hard. You wander the hamlet for a little bit along the river, and you find what's left of Cleo. His bones here, rotted away. All his flesh is rotted away already. He's still wearing a partial set of clothes, but there's holes all over it. It looks like some beasts have had their way with his meat. Hanging from his belt, there's a dagger still and a short bow. It's all wet and dirty. And he's also wearing a pack still, but there's holes in it. And there's a pot not too far from his corpse as well.
Wally will take the pot and the dagger.
I lost. There is a teammate here who died, named Niccolo. We could search for his remains too.
No. This is it. I will not be going further with the amount of skeletons we've encountered.
Yeah, we're too short on time. We should probably move.
Okay,
And people
you
have
pick up the
said they
sharp on
want
the
to
dagger.
leave, so no, we can't continue.
Okay.
We've already lost somebody.
Yep. So their character, because they play the required time, is allowed to just follow, but he's not taking any of their actions. So he's following you guys through the hamlet. But if you guys make a decision like combat and he's still here with your party, he's at risk of being killed, and you just risk the character's life.
Yeah,
He
Cleo
doesn't
was
deserve to
house
die.
silver, right?
Yes, she
And
was my previous character.
Right. So you're also of House Silver, Ollie. Would you like to retrieve the remains and return them to your house and give them a
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much.
You find
Do we
two
have
silver on Cleo as well.
Oh, thank you.
That was in the pack. So if you dig
yeah,
through the pack, you would get the silver.
do we have some sacks that we can put the bones in?
We can use the pack that Cleo has on her. It is broken, but it should work for bones.
Mm-hmm. You stuff
Okay.
the pack with bones. It's an old pack that you can repair in the town. So, dirty pack. Holes in it now from the animals that have torn into the flesh. Okay, so I'm gonna put this damaged pack on. What is it? Ollie, right?
Yes.
Okay, so. Okay, pack is on you now, and then you also took the bones, and you also took the bones will weigh about 15 pounds collectively, or total. You took her short bow and dagger as well.
No, not the short bow, just the dagger.
Okay.
And the pot. Dagger and pot.
Alright, you can clean these off in the town. Alright. Good to go.
May I take the bow then?
You may. There's no
I'm
arrows,
asking.
but you took the
Yeah,
bow.
I was just asking Ollie if I may have the bow.
Sure, you can have the bow. I have one of my own, as I'll pull at the one that is over my shoulder.
Very good. Okay. Eden, you now have a short bow. Okay, and from here, you guys ready to head home with what little loot you've gotten?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
You mean what 0 loot we got?
Unfortunate.
I got 2 silver coins.
Say we could have recovered the remains of Niccolo and possibly my great helm. But
Alright, but we did not go deep enough naturally. Went to one new area and only explored about a 30-foot corridor. And that's about it. So you can't really expect much from 30 feet of new explored area, naturally. We'll explore a lot more than that. Definitely want to get through the explored areas a lot quicker. We're doing better for sure, but we did get lost a few times on the way to that spot. So
yeah, I mean, I was talking about like on the hills near the thing. We can probably find Niccolo's body.
all right. I mean, we're leaving now. If you want to stay back, you're splitting from the party
No,
because the party's
I have
deciding to
to.
leave.
I have to stay.
And turning only lasts as long as the monsters see him and
No, I
maybe
mean
for a turn.
No, I mean I'll
So
stay with the party and leave.
yeah.
All right.
All right. Let us begin the march back. It's a day's travel. We'll roll 3 dice for the outcome of the travel. 1 dice mostly important. The other 2 are not too important, but can still cause an issue for those who are not attentive. All right. Weather's fine, and or navigation's fine, and of course no encounters on the way back. So after a day of marching from Castle Zavolta along the river, you make it back from your adventure into Gavelon with the little loot you've gotten from this one. I don't think there was any loot really, unfortunately, but we did get information. We have explored a little bit of the new area of Dungeon Level 2 that we unlocked. So, alright, that looks like it'll be it for tonight, unfortunately. We didn't win much, but no one died, and we got back in one piece, so. Alright,
That's
perhaps
better than good.
next time we'll get even deeper, hopefully.
Mhm.
But thank you all for playing. That would wrap up tonight's adventure session. I hope you guys had fun. If
Nice
you have any
playing with
questions
you
or
guys.
concerns, please let me know. Um, or anything you want to discuss. But otherwise, you guys are all actually free to go now. So thank you for playing tonight, and I hope to see you at the next one.
It was nice
Thank
meeting
you.
you guys. Yeah.
Thanks, Ekin.
Oh, that's nice.
Thanks again.
Of course.
Oh, you said you gained 2 silver pieces.
Yes.
Do you mind sharing with me? I bought food.
Yeah.
I bought one
I would
silver of food.
appreciate it.
How about one
Okay.
silver if
I'm going to give the 2 silver pieces to the people who actually supplied this adventure, and I'm also going to return the bag with whatever torches are left to Augustus.
All right. That's fine.
Thank you.
Fortunato,
I'll
you
make
can
note.
just take the silver.
You sure?
Do we have a wait? Didn't you buy
I've already
2
put it on your
silver?
sheet, so it's too late. Unless I
Okay.
really have to give it to him, then I will. But
No,
Yeah,
if it's
that's
if it's
fine. That's
already on
fine.
my
that's me.
if it's
It's
already on my
more
sheet, then
racing. Okay, cool. All right. I'll see you guys. Have a good one. Have a good one.
Goodbye.